Oh, I'm ibxtoycat, and welcome back to another live stream on the internet. Today, it is time for the 4th ocean draining stream. We are draining an entire ocean, and so far we've done pretty well, I would say. And although it's pretty well and we've drained a lot of ocean, it's also horrifying every now and then when I realize so I've done 3 streams, they're about 2.5 hours each. Have I spent 7 hours on this one so far? And the answer is yes, of course. But today, we take things further, because what's the point in doing things in life if you don't take those same things further? Let's find out. So, it's good to see everyone. Hi, hello. How are you doing on this fine midsummer's eve? I think it actually is the middle of summer, right? No, it's very much the tail end of summer. I used to be someone who thought the weather was just nothing. You know, unless it gets too hot and it literally starts killing you, the weather's just a thing that exists. But I began to realize, oh yeah, I guess, it would be nice if it was perfectly palatable outside, and it's been slightly less than palatable. Not enough to be a problem, when it gets more than palatable, you start dying. But I realized, it's dumb, but I think the weather has started to matter to me, and that's a sign that I'm aging irreversibly. So someone needs to put me out of my misery soon, because I don't know, you don't want to see where this one goes, you know? So yeah, hello everyone, how are you doing? You having a good Thursday evening? I'm having a good Thursday evening. Do you want to know what beverage I'm drinking today? I like doing that thing where I ask a question and then entirely forget about it because I'm so focused on something else. But this time I'm going to do it on purpose. And that will be me proving a point, probably. How many more streams do you think it'll be to drain the whole ocean? This is a question without an answer, I feel like, because we definitely can be picky about how much of it we're draining, right? There is a lot of different bounds we could finish and be like, well, that's all I wanted to do anyway. Also, Mr. Toycat better be drinking Pepsi, says VMB Snipes. It's good to see you, VMB Snipes. Been some time. I would like to tell you that it's basically Diet Pepsi. So, I have a lot of fun drinks in my fridge, but whenever a place gives away a free drink with the food, it's always the 4 most boring drinks in the world, you know? Also, we will be bringing back the Wheel of Spinning. I do have to mention, I haven't said it yet, but let's have it be assumed, because obviously we're working towards that 350 member goal, and I'm always very excited to see what progress we can make there. Also, I think I might have put the member goal over where those things play. So that might have been a mistake. You know, if you think about it, everything's a mistake, so... Thank you, Gaurav Kumar Singh, for becoming, guess what, the 306th channel member. And you know what that means? As you hopefully should know, you become the 306th, and you get a spin on the wheel alongside, notably, Funky Crypto. So, I'm excited for this. That's awesome. Starting the stream with 2 members. Really appreciate you joining the Cool Cat Club. So yeah, the plan for both those memberships is we're going to do them at the same time, or I guess it's a quick succession. Let's go. What's going to happen? As long as it's not the pickle shot. Oh god. Better luck next time. Oh, Gaurav Kumar Singh. You got the... Wait, can you actually read that option? You can, I think. We got one option on there that's designed to make you... it's designed to make you realize that you're not... Even in the best moments, things can go terribly. But it's fine, because next time will be better. Don't you worry. There's a spin again option, which is basically reroll. And then there's the, yeah, you suck option. And whereas, on the other hand, much more lucky by comparison is Funky Cryptid, who gets give advice. See, here's my advice for you. Here's my real advice for you. Is, you're sometimes gonna run into situations where people are gonna tell you, you know what, should you be gambling on that Catman stream? And the answer is, of course you shouldn't be. But that's why you do it anyway. You do it for the fun, not for the result. Also, wow, I guess I suck, says Gaurav Kumar Singh. That's totally not true. Just to throw that one out there. It's just a reminder that 1 in 14 people have to get that bad luck, and it happens every day. And now that you've taken that bullet, now everyone else is safe. You've saved everyone else from the bad option, and that's wonderful. Also, good to see you, Jacqueline, Myra, Cat. How is everyone on this fine day? I'm excited to, like, really drain underneath this. Because in the intermediate time, I've been kind of placing down all the stone for these pillars. And so now I can actually get rid of the water here. And, like, it'll go away. It will be gone. It's gonna be wonderful. Actually, I think I filled in most of them. Not all the way, admittedly, but, you know, close enough to all the way. So, if we use dirt, this is a lot easier. But you better believe that never made me do anything useful for myself. So we'll just place along the walls where we can to get all of this done ASAP. Yeah, maybe using the dirt is just a good framework for getting the things done. Also, something else I want to do. Oh, I didn't fill this gap in. So that's going to be a bit of a problem. They'll strike later. Something that did I waste this whole sponge just on that? Something that I have considered very recently is I think I should make myself a, what are those things even called? A conduit. And I feel like since I need to go get some food at some point anyway, I'm gonna do that. So yeah, I've been a fan since the TU14 update videos. It's awesome to hear. I remember where I was when I was recording those TU14 videos. Like I used to go to college in one town, and then my girlfriend at the time lived in another town, and like we wouldn't have that much time together, so like on the weekends we tried to like value it. And so like I'd be like, wow, I really need to make these videos because, you know, I'm here for the week, but also, you know, it'd be like this balancing act. And I remember at the time being like, okay, can we do this? It was hard, but yeah, T14, that was the jungle update, right? If it's not, then ignore it. No, that might be T19. Also, Jimmy Payne, thank you so much for becoming the 309th channel member. I might just leave this open, honestly. Thank you so much for becoming the 308th channel member. I can't count. But what I can do is spin... Oh, God, almost knocked over the pickle juice. Spin that wheel. Oh, what are you gonna land on? Oh, not the pickle. No! Oh, that yellow one there is the pickle juice shot. You got spin again. Okay, we got this. This time will be much better. No pickle juice for anyone. Better luck next time. Wow, that is brutal. Spin again, followed by better luck next time. Also, thank you so much for... Okay, now I was correct. I was actually just seeing into the future. Figgy Faustus, thank you so much for becoming a channel member. You can spin the toy cat wheel. Oh, no. Okay. We got, make a song out of your name or 2 jumping jacks. It's on the little divide. I think it's slightly on the 2 jumping jack side. This is the worst one. I feel like it's not, you know, 2 is such a small number, you know? This was the worst thing to set up. I don't even know why I did it, but you know, that's why it's beautiful, right? That's why it's beautiful. Pickle juice, saying it 3 times makes it come true, right? That is how that works. You know, I'm just glad that I'm not drinking pickle juice. This is, every single time I just take that as the absolute win. Sing the song. Do we have to sing the song every time? I mean, only seems fair that we should, right, actually. So yeah, we're gonna get rid of a ton of gravel so we can pick some up, and so we can place some more down. It's gonna be a very, very good day for gravel today. And the more gravel we remove, the better it gets. I love pickle juice. No, you don't. I disagree with you on your own opinion there. Okay, 2 jumping jacks. Let's go. Because of the green screen, I have very little space here. Ugh. Like, oh god. Like, see what I mean? You're gonna have to believe them over. You know what? Just that's jumping jacks. This is terrible. Change the number of jumping jacks from 2 to 10. Yeah, no, it should just not be jumping jacks, right? It should be dear. Oh god, what did I read there? I feel like I can't read that out loud, right? Anyway, hello everyone. How are you doing? You having a good Friday, Thursday? You know, is Thursday not just Friday's Friday? If you think about it, you know, you just gotta get through one more day, and then Friday's there. It's Friday's Friday, and I'm sticking with that. Chasing shots. Whiskey with pickle juice is actually delicious. I can totally understand why it seems disgusting. You know what? I knew there was something funny about people like you, Jacqueline. Darn architects and their silly drinking games. You know, the rest of us, you know, have taste buds we have to worry about. OMG, you're wearing a shirt from Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is the best. For what it's worth, the shot glass is also from Texas. It's Texas Day today, apparently. Oh no, the Texas logo got beaten up. See, people always ask, why do I not drink out for the shot glasses that I... Because every time I go to a country, I get a shot glass. I'm also doing the American states vaguely just for fun. Because, you know, you go places, you go to gift shops. You stood in the gift shop for a while anyway. Might as well get a shot glass. That's the, that's my terrible attitude I've been using. That's called a pickleback shot. Is it also very mediocre and known for not actually tasting like anything? You know, there's a high quality music joke. It doesn't make... I don't understand music, but I feel like that's the... Also, Becky Bubbles! Hey, it's good to see you. Welcome to the Cool Cat Club. You know what the Cool Cat Club gets you? At least for the next week or two? Guess what? It allows you a vital opportunity to spin that wheel. This is the wheel of Toycat, and you're getting a spin. Oh, show and tell. Let's do it. Becky Bubbles, thank you so much for becoming the 310th member. That's a milestone right there, right? It's not the most glamorous of milestones. Sure, I'll give you that. But it's a milestone. I think that's also, whoops, if I have to be more PC, manners make of man. No, I think it's been fine. Honestly, given that the last stream, people are actively posting, like, the ingredients to make various
Sing the song.
things.
Dance, monkey, dance.
I actually don't know what song you're talking about. Like, I would love to be the dancing monkey for $10. That is, you know, if there's anything I'd love to do, it's degrading myself for money. Don't you worry. But I genuinely don't know the song. But, so I have to do Sean So, don't you worry, Becky Bubbles. No, forgot what my point was. Oh yeah, so like, I feel like, actually, you know, if people can post ingredients for questionable, military-based cocktails, you know, I guess you can post the, I guess you can, you know, say, you know, please be nice, Taliban. I guess it makes sense that you could say that. Yeah, it's totally true. You know, I feel like if you have a really, really high level of self-worth, then seeing people try to... You know, there's two forms of, like, internettery, right? There's the form where, like, you know that you are... Let's say attractive, but, like, I don't mean it, like, physically attractive, although that also works. Like, there is something about you that lots of people want. Maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're a famous person. Maybe you are just physically attractive. Where you see people post a thing that's like, yeah, tell me what... Also, I'm back, how are the baby pigeons? You know, look up what a baby pigeon looks like. It is horrific. Like, it makes sense because it's a bird and birds look like birds. But baby pigeons are not something you want to see. I actually concluded that it's probably not a nest of baby pigeons living in my gutter. Because, like, I feel like it's being used as, like, basically like a nest. But I don't think it actually is a nest, which is sad, because I wanted to see baby pigeons in real life. But it's sad. I don't get to see them. It's a tragedy. Speaking of tragedies, I would like to do some show and tell for Becky now. So, I got myself a new camera. This one is much better than my current one. And for whatever reason, I decided to use this camera. It's the Elgato face cam. It's like a proper, you know, like camera lens and everything in there. Also, thank you, Cat Beanie! Thank you so much for the tip. I love, you know, I feel exactly like the cat. I'm not even degrading myself for money right now. And that's even better than degrading yourself for money. Not degrading yourself and still getting money. Thank you for helping me live my dream. But, yeah, I bought a new webcam because I was really unsatisfied with my current one. I actually found out where the issues were stemming from. It took me a long time to patch it up and fix it and stuff. But yeah, things are looking up in the Toycat webcam universe. Because, you know, like, I'm, like, really obsessed with technical quality. And it's funny because for the last 3 months, my videos have been 720p. And I think only about 2 or 3 comments have noticed. But it's still, like, you know, I think for everyone who notices explicitly, some people don't notice explicitly, some people are just like, whatever. Like, having a good... Something has to be technically good for you to even give it a try, you know? Like, there might be a movie that's the next Lion King or The Avatar or whatever movie is important and critically acclaimed. But you're never gonna know about it because it's, like, made by some indie dude on an iPhone 7. And it's like, you know, I mean, it's technically a masterpiece, but like, is it really? But yeah, that's my personal take on these things. So yeah, my show and tell, I got a new camera. I also got a straight... Oh, I can't unplug it without some ramifications. So my show and tell is, here is my can of Diet Coke, Becky Bubbles. I never deliberately go out my way to buy full-size cans of Coke, because it's just... Like, it's not a good drink. I prefer a Pepsi Max if I'm drinking a cola, but I don't usually even drink cola. Like, it's not my preferred drink of choice right now. But, like, when you order delivery, there's loads of places that are like, yeah, we'll give you a free drink. And it's like, it's always like free drinks they have for free. It's never a drink I actually want. And so I end up with these cans of Coca-Cola, if you will. And we're gonna pour this in. Bubble Productions. What's your favorite type of Minecraft dirt? My favorite type of Minecraft dirt is the dirt that falls down and allows you to drain oceans. What's that dirt called? Does anyone know what that type of dirt is? So, I've never seen baby pigeons. New camera is nice. Pepsi has more sugar than Coke. You gotta remember, I think you're coming from an American perspective there. In Europe, everything's flipped upside down because of the sugar regulations, and then in the UK, it's even more flipped upside down because we have a sugar tax on top of those regulations. Is cereal a soup? Cereal is definitely a soup. There is no way around that. Eat any good carrots recently, says Cat Feeney. No one's ever had good this is one of those weird things where I thought I had a popular opinion that carrots sucked. But every time I bring it up, people are like, no, carrots are the best. Diet Coke is a spa to me. I'm so shocked that we can't, with all of the money and resources we have, work out a way to get something sweeter than sugar that makes you feel the same things. You know? It feels like something that should have been done, but somehow isn't. Only raw carrots are good. What is wrong with everyone? How does everyone have all these terrible takes? Carrot cake, just saying. You know what? Carrot cake doesn't taste like carrots, but I'll give you that. Also, hey!
I got to watch the stream unmuted today. I hope your house renovations are going well, but I don't expect it to because I keep my expectations tiny so I can be less whiny. Here is your allowance.
You know, Fuki, I wouldn't expect anything less. Thank you so much for the tip. And you know, it's always good to see you, and it's always good for you to be here to remind me that indeed my expectations should be tiny. No, it is going terribly, you're right. Like, my doorbell couldn't be installed today because I didn't have a transformer. You know, I thought Transformers were, you know, a hot movie property from 10 years ago. But no, it's actually a thing you need to install a doorbell. And I couldn't install a camera because the camera has a really thick wire that makes it hard to, like, drill through a wall. And, I sent you twice the video of the orphan baby pigeons I'm hand-rearing. You know, I want to see those again, Becky Bubbles. I have no idea how I missed those things. You know, we'll blame social media algorithms for how I miss those things. That's what it is. You know what's the superior vegetable? Brussels. You know what? I like my vegetables like I like my supranation, ultranational capitals. I like them right in the heart of Europe. I do want to say that, yeah, things are going rough on the house. It's like, it's fine though. Like, I totally am not expecting much. Like, I'm expecting by the end of the year to be, like, half done. If I beat that, I'm gonna be impressed. Hi, Toycat. I'm a firefighter in training, and your videos help keep me sane between shifts. Thank you for the great content. Hey, no, thank you for fighting the fires that people are causing by not subscribing to the channel. I don't know why these people are being so reckless. You know, it's not like they don't know. The solutions are out there. They're just choosing for some reason not to use them. And you know, honestly, if it was up to me, I would just stop. I would stop. But you know what? You're a better firefighter than I am a human being, and that's why I applaud the efforts you're making to stop people doing what they're really doing to themselves with this lack of subscription. But no, thank you so much for the tip. It's cool that there's a firefighter watching. All we need now is a water fighter, an air fighter, and an earth fighter, and we'll have the holy quadrology. I should, you know, next time someone tips and says that their profession, I'm gonna go off on a massive rant about the profession. Like, oh, you think you're so good? I don't know, what's a job? You think you're so good marketing managers, Well, if you're so good at marketing, then market me your job. Oh, you're not doing a good enough job? That's because you suck. You know, I'd be great at office parties. This is why I need to get an office, so I can go to parties related to it. I guess now we need to get rid of this big stretch of water. Should be easier. Oh, I see the issue of trying to get rid of this stretch of water. There's not currently a divider. So we could place one over here, and it would perfectly make more freeze. Perfect. So what if I super chat saying I'm a YouTuber, says Adorable Ho. Oh, you're a YouTuber, huh? Oh, must be real hard for you doing what you love and getting paid for it. Oh, you know, or like... my favorite one is like gaming YouTuber, because it's like, oh, is playing games hard for you? That's not a real job. And it's like, I don't think you understand what my job is. That actually relates to a third channel video coming out very shortly. Being in a party of Toycat sounds fun. Being in a party of Toycat is just Toycat tells you why your job is fake, while sipping from his Diet Coke in a red cup. Mmm. It is delicious. It is delicious. My friend works in an alcohol factory, and for whatever reason, he gets very good discount. You know, you'd figure like drink responsibly, they'd like be trying really hard not to be doing this, but whatever. So one of the perks he gets is very reduced price access to the merchandise, perhaps we'll say. And yeah, it's like there's an interesting thing about like I think this is true for like any drug. The rich version of a drug and the poor version of a drug, like vastly different, because you know on the poor end it's just about getting that human fix, right? It's like with food, like lobster or like shellfish is a poor person's food until you get to lobster, where it magically turns into a rich person's food. It hasn't historically been a rich person's food. It's just one day society made it that way, and we went, okay, I guess, sure, that works. Also, this is such a mess. Should we go get a conduit already? Also, what is this? There's lots of questions I have about what I'm doing here. And indeed, lots of questions I should be having about what I'm doing here. Okay, so maybe place those back in there first. And now we can start destroying this wall. That's what matters. I've been trying to catch your stream at work in a paint booth listening to your philosophy. What is a paint booth? I'd love to know. Wait, chat, tell me your profession and I'll tell you why it's a lie. Tell me your profession and I'll tell you what's terrible about it. And why it's not a real job. That's my favorite thing. I'm a musician. Ooh, you're a musician, are you? Well, get this. The voice is an instrument. And so, right now, everyone at this party we're having, which is just me, because, you know, it's a very narcissistic party on the internet via Minecraft. Everyone else at this party is an engineer. Ooh, what have you engineered recently? That's a bad example. Lawn mowing business. You know, the fact that you have to add business after the end of that proves enough of why that's not a job by itself, right? Long time, no tax. Watching you drain an ocean makes me want to make a breathable ocean out of conduits. Yeah, it's actually not that hard to do, I imagine, because conduits cover pretty far, and then the gap between conduits could be big, because you could, you know, yeah, that is a fun concept, though. I definitely have considered, like, covering my world in conduits more than a few times. Okay, here's my genius idea. So I'm gonna go... Yeah, look at this. This is beautiful. This is nowhere near as fast as just stacking one then the other. But it feels cool, right? Look at this. 180s everywhere. Is a student a profession? That's a good question. That is a good question. Should student be a profession is another question. Like, in general, there is a interesting... Oh, and we're out of gravel again. See, I could solve this problem. Or I could not solve it and then complain about the problem. Which is, I think, the better solution here. Gaming has paid a lot of houses off. I'm retired from NASA. Yeah, no, like, it's crazy because, when you look at the gaming sphere and you look at the most successful dudes, you totally can see so many stories of, like, yeah, I bought a house in cash, paid off my mother's house, I have a Lamborghini, and even after all of that, I'm still so set for life that I genuinely don't care anymore. See, but here's an interesting thing. Okay, I was thinking about this because an interesting concept to me is trying to build a perfect society, right? Or trying to build a perfect life. Let's scale it down to the individual, because it works on the collective basis, but it's much more interesting to think about on an individual level. To try to make your perfect life, you have to live an imperfect life, right? Like, no one's perfect life is like, yeah, go 9 to 5 being a firefighter or an engineer or a, you know, whatever other professions people have listed. Like, that's not what you imagine from scratch. It's like, oh yeah, well, a lot of the things that I envision require money, and a lot of the ways you get money involve doing jobs. In fact, most of the ways, I tend to find an overwhelming majority of ways that you make money involve doing work. And so, to make your perfect life, this post-scarcity dream of just like, yeah, I do whatever I want, whenever I want. To live that perfect life, you have to, at some point, like, have some imperfection. You should buy a new mouse. Yeah, I'm really sorry. You know, actually, this is my calling to just switch over to a controller. This is my calling. You know, let's just do it right now. It's not my mouse. It's that I don't have a mouse pad, and I'm just really... Like, I by default shift my mouse a little bit to the right. It's an ugly habit I have. Oh, I don't have a long enough cable for my... You're an engineer, name every engine. Okay, we're just gonna use controller. I feel like a controller gives a better viewing experience anyway. That's my personal take. Okay, here we go. Look how nice this is. We're back to controller world. See, look at that, by the way. One tiny comment, like, got an insecurity I already had of like, yeah, I've been noticing this mouse jitteriness, and then no one else notices it, so I think it's fine. And then someone notices it, and I'm like, okay, it's over. My whole life is done. Let's just hope no one else says anything. And it's interesting. It's that's insecurities for you, right? That's insecurities for you. Quitter. Well, now I feel the opposite. Can you even live a 100% perfect life? I mean, I definitely argue that you can't, but everyone has at least somewhat of a vision for what a perfect life looks like. But to get that perfect life, you have to be imperfect, right? And there's the level of, like, you know, like gangs and whatnot, where they're like, well, if I want to have money, I have to commit crimes. If I want to live a perfectly legal life happily, I need to get some money illicitly. But it's much more visible. Also, I just watched a new 1.18 speedrun. Thank you so much, HC838. I felt like that's probably going to be the last, like, experimental snapshot, so I'll do a speedrun video. I feel like I didn't maximize the concept as best I could. Also, oh, because it's been so long, I guess it's just reset my controls. Why is pick block not on? Pick block's not on anything. So here we go. Put that up on the D-pad, and we'll put emote. Okay, we'll leave emote on left, so we can do a little fake death emote. I don't know where my legs have gone, but can you ever see your legs in Minecraft? You can't. Oh, is that not weird to anyone else? Also, my change perspective button has also broken over this time. So drop items should be B. Sprint should be, I don't actually care. Toggle perspective. Pick block is up. Okay, there we go. So now we can do fun things. But yeah, I am very, very excited by the, I think, you know, I'm excited for everything. I'm excited for you to show up right here. No pick block, you should put on the 2 square button. The 2 square button. Oh, the menu. Yeah, I guess you don't use that for anything, huh? Maybe that should be the emote button, actually. I can see a lot of logic for it. Lol, lost train of thought. Toycat and losing his train of thoughts. Name a more iconic duo. I subbed to you because I'm informed, but my girlfriend burned down our flat while I was at work, so I guess you're spreading the truth about house fires. How did she burn down the... Okay, you know what? There's a lot of questions here. There's a lot of very key concerns I have that I'm afraid I'm not just going to be able to drop very easily. I need to know how did she burn down the like a whole flat, like in a proper apartment building, just gone. Just you know, that seems like a big problem. That seems like that'd be a relationship talk. Like, hey, I know you love fire. Don't we all? Don't we all have a big love for fires? But you know, you're gonna have to resist fires while I'm at work because I can't put them out. See, if you just have that adult conversation that every couple should have about when to start house fires, I'll give you the head start on that conversation, only for insurance fraud purposes. Do you have some items that... I feel like I can't even make these jokes on a stream, because if I do, it will be used against me one day in court. You have some items that are irreplaceable and they're broken anyway. Would be a shame if you had a house fire and the... Because, okay, I've heard during a house fire, apparently, you know, obviously firefighters spray a lot of water and stuff. So the stuff is either fire damaged or it's water damaged, right? Those are the two ways. So if you water damage something and it's broken, it's like, oh, what a shame. Oh, maybe though, maybe some nice burly men like Chicken McPimpin, fun name by the way, our resident firefighter. Maybe they come around and they spray some water on it, and maybe everyone's a winner. I mean, if the fire department doesn't exist for insurance fraud purposes, I don't know why it does. Like, they would have a dedicated number if it was just for emergencies. Like, how many emergencies really are there on a daily basis? It can't be that many. Also, I come into chat, and the first thing Toycat says is, the granite conversation we should have, and it's when to start a house fire. Good start. You're welcome, EK Heim. I'm glad you know. Also, Toycat, long-time watcher, first-time live. Love your in-depth conversations. Are you still in the United States? I'm back in the United Kingdom, not even the States, the kingdom that is united. Yeah, I'm excited to be back. Actually, no, I'm excited for like 4 months from now or something. When I'm excited for when everything is around me is finished and I feel like I can just get back to enjoying, you know, get back to the way things were before. There's a but to answer your actual question, no, there was no question. I was just saying, long time watcher, first time live. Thank you so much for being a watcher, and thank you more for being alive. You know, I don't get paid for the dead viewers on these streams. I mean, I actually do. You know, I have no financial interest in you dying or not. So I'm just saying, maybe watch it next time you leave a comment about how bad my mouse control is, huh? Yeah, maybe be cautious, knowing where my incentives really lie. I've got to get more torches, by the way. Also, I'm on 1 bit of steak left, so after this, it's conduit time, I guess. Like, there's not really much of a choice. Will you fill the ocean again after draining it, Mr. Cat? Says Gurav. Oh yeah, of course. What else would I do? What else would I do? I don't see any other logical way to proceed. Okay, so messed that one up a little bit. Messed it up the second time. Ah, on the third time we got it. Yeah, so okay, everything in life is like a bone. They need to break a little to get a little stronger. You know, it's funny. We always had this attitude of like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And then the last year we flipped it around to like, you know what doesn't kill you makes you irreparably weak or something. I don't know, man. We're just trying to scare people into compliance. And it's like, wait a minute. We gotta work it out. Is the saying true, or is the public health advice true? I just don't know what to trust. I get very lost and confused. Being that I work on political campaigns, I discourage any sort of talk like that, but you're not running for office, so it's all well. I mean, why would a political campaign not be able to endorse insurance fraud? Like, is there something about office that, you know, like what, it's like when a public figure is caught cheating on their wife, and everyone's like, oh, this is gonna ruin his chances of being elected. And it's like, shit, you know, like, ooh, you just got caught cheating at work, so your odds of being a banker are ruined. It's like, what does your professional life have to do with your personal life? And I know some people make the argument that like, well, can you trust someone that can't even follow the most basic of vows? But I go the other way, and I'm like, well, I mean, you know, maybe not with your, you know, romantic intentions, but with your banking needs. I mean, your politician needs. And so same thing, you know, if current US president comes out tomorrow and says, hey guys, I've got an economic plan that doesn't involve raising taxes. So what we're gonna do is tomorrow, Every single person, set fire to your own house. That's right, set fire to it. Or claim you set fire to it. The great thing about insurance fraud is the fire doesn't even need to be real. You know what's crazy? A type of fraud that's really common, or used to be really common, is people used to try and get mortgages against houses that didn't exist. And that's why, like, a big part of the bank's process is, like, going in person, making sure it's the size that you say it is. Because otherwise you could borrow a ton more money than you need. And, like, execute a very elaborate scam. Where you steal the bank's money. And, I guess stealing is the wrong word. Where you borrow it, but, like, it's not secured against... You know, it's a thing. Anyway, it's a matter of character, really. If someone is untrustworthy enough to, in one aspect of their lives, they're untrustworthy in all aspects. I actually, you know, I do kind of see the logic, at least, there. Like, oh yeah, if you can't trust someone here, you can't trust someone there. But, you know, I see the... In broad strokes, I see. Also, can you not place gravel on glass? Huh. That's a fun fact. Not stealing, just borrowing... This is really very frustrating. Okay, so we're going to have to place this the old-fashioned way, it seems. Build Lincoln's log house, petitions back to 5 million to renovate. I'm just saying, there's a lot of fun to be had in misrepresenting yourself on a legal level. Did you know when you have to sign your name for something? You know, like, there's no like, as long as you can argue you've been referred to as that name somewhere, you can just use whatever name you want. I'm just saying, there's a lot of very minor forms of fraud that you can just commit and, like, no one really cares. Yeah, you know what? Fun facts of Toycat. Fraud is easy to commit. Also, Miss Pat Van Driver Lady.
Hey, good to see you. My life has been very busy this week, but wanted to be sure to pay my Toycat tax. Hope you are having a great day.
Thank you so much. I am actually having a good day. Wait, am I? Let me check up on that. No, I had a terrible morning. I had so many strangers running around my house. You know, okay, you know, can I tell you what frustrates me? I found a local electrician. He came around my house to look at what we needed done. And he was a cool enough guy. We had a little bit of trouble understanding each other. Like, he knows his stuff. He has a rate that I think reflects his expertise while being affordable. And he acknowledges his, like, weak comings. And, like, he's also like, yeah, you'd want to do it this way because otherwise it'll look ugly. Like, he's got all the bases covered. And he worked for, like, 6 hours last week doing various electrical things. And so this week, you know, like, there's some more stuff that needs doing. And he's like, I brought 2 colleagues with me. And the colleagues are, like, 20-year-old dudes. You know? Like, 20-year-old boys, if we want to be rude about their ages. Which we won't be. No, yeah, we will be. And so, like, first of all, I have no idea how the billing for this works, because I'm paying him by the hour. No way he's bringing these 2 guys to do it for free. So, he's going to charge me some amount for that. But maybe I should have just asked up front. But, you know what? I didn't, because I did the polite thing of, like, let's work this out after they've done all the work. And second of all, I'm kidding, by the way. Our landlord installed our oven illegally, so it just started burning while she was showering, and it wasn't turned on. But she wasn't subbed, so... If only you taught her how to use YouTube, you know? If only someone could have done that. We could have saved a lot of pain.
I told my buddy he needed to subscribe to avoid house fires. He refused to listen to me, so I set his house on fire. Also Toycat tax.
See, it's not officially awesome when you do that. It's called teaching a valid lesson. It is absolutely not a crime. And it's actually an important part of how we teach fire safety in this hemisphere. So thank you very much, Gerald K. But yeah, no, it's good to see you, Gerald K, alongside Miss Pat Van Drive Lady. It's good to see regulars show up again. It is a wonderful thing. Oh god, my mouse is... it's getting hit by my headphone cable. You know, everything around me is just horrifically optimized right now, is what I'm saying. And I've got to work it out at some point. But that some point is not right now. I'm not sleeping, I'm grabbing torches. Oh no, I've used up all of the extra Okay, I'm gonna go grab torches, is the lesson from this. Or coal or something. And then I'm gonna throw my wet sponges in here. 39 of them. Then I'm gonna go to sleep. And it's gonna be good in the morning. But, Are you not getting a bunch of lag when draining? No, there's a lot of things people tell me give them lag. I think when you're playing in a realm, like, there's so much spare processing power, I could break 1,000 chests and it'd probably be fine. Toycat, does mining every single block of my world sound like a stupid idea? It sounds like a really cool idea that is impractical because of the fact that a world is... Like, mining every block in an old style world, 256 by 256, proved to be impossible for me. Sword King, like a old Constellation friend of mine, tried to mine every block in a console-sized world. He had like 9 friends in there helping him, and to this day, it's never been done because it was like it's like a ludicrous end goal project, right? It's not like it's not an easy project to attempt, is what I'm saying. And so yeah, I think there's a lot of things that sound very doable on paper, but get very tricky after the fact. So we need, what, like 5 Northless Shells and a Heart of the Sea? Do I not have any more Hearts of the Sea? Do we have to go? Oh, I've got Conduits. I'm done. I've got Prismarine right here, too. How much Prismarine do we need? We'll just take 21. If we need any more, we'll get some more. If we need any less, then we'll return it. But I wanted to thank you for inspiring me to keep one main world. I have it for almost 2 years now, and I love this world. Yeah, I'm encouraging people to make commitments to their Minecraft world. I'm glad that I'm doing it. You're welcome, internet. I'm going to combine these nether quartz stacks together. That's my little act for the day. And then I think I need torches, right? So I think I keep a ton of charcoal in the desert. I could be wrong about that. No, not rain. Actually, rain's good. It'll allow me to... Look at this, look at this, look at this. I don't know why it's... There we go. Conduit power. So I've got night vision everywhere, even though it's not night, or like water vision, which is just night vision in disguise. This Coke is delicious. What was I doing over here? Oh, I was going to the... So usually there's a ton of charcoal lying around here. Oh no, I've been smelting glass recently. That's not charcoal. That's like the opposite of charcoal. Like it's like clear and stuff. Man, I've smelted so much glass. What am I gonna do with all this glass? Oh god, chat, I have some problems. Oh, a shulker box. That's nice. I'll keep that on me. Well, you know what? I need to go find myself some coal. You know, I bet there's some inside here that I just never mind. Okay, we're going for a quick coal run. Let me prove my infinite wisdom and my knowledge of coal by showing you where I keep the coal. I mean, it's got to be around here somewhere, right? There's got to be a big splotch of coal that I just haven't mined. I can just go in, grab one block of coal will probably be enough for a while. Oh, and look at that. Toycat, understanding Toycat from the past a little too well. Fun fact, the Swedish word for ice cream is glass, says Ace234DM. You know what? That sounds correct. Ice glass. No, that doesn't sound correct. I mean, it sounds correct, but a lot of things sound correct. It sounds correct that the Battle of 1886 was actually made up by the French. Is that a real battle? Or did I just say that right now? Who knows for sure? It sounds too correct. That's the problem, right? Okay, so I'm going to leave that last bit of coal there. I've got myself 50 now. That'll be enough torches for the day. Encounter any spiders in your room recently? Says Thomas Burkhart. Don't remind me of the spider. I genuinely... I have very, very negative feelings about how when I last saw the spider. I have very negative feelings about that. There was no war in 1886 that involved France. Well, that's what they tell you, isn't it? That's what they tell you. Is it true the color green attracts spiders? You know, I don't even know where you came up with that fact. It's like, you know, you could say anything in that space and it would have just as much bearing on the conversation, I guess. Okay, so now we're going to grab all of the torches. And you know what we're going to make? Sorry, the coal sticks. There we go. Endless torches. Throw these in there. These in there. This in there. And now let's make a conduit. We can make the conduit on land and just hope the rain never ends. But I think a much better solution is to go, like, kind of over here. Somewhere that's not going to be drained for a while. And then place the conduit down there. Hey, Toycat, I'm glad I can catch the stream today. I just got a promotion, so I've been having to put a lot of time at work. Toycat Tax from New Mexico, USA. USA, you could say. But no, thank you so much just for comments. It's good to see you. Again, one of the friendly, familiar names. It's good to be back to streaming, just to see the people again. Which is weird. This is a parasocial relationship. Like, not just from you to me, but from me to you. Also, I really don't know if this is enough prismarine for this to work. I feel like it's actually not, right? Yep, I made a mistake. I made a big mistake. Is it okay that I made the mistake? Some would say no. Others would also say no. Thank you very much. What do you do when you crave food from other countries? My favorite place went out of business and it's hard to cope. Oh yeah, there used to be this Japanese place like 5 minutes from where I lived that was like authentically ran by Japanese people. It looked like I don't know how to describe it actually, but it had like screen doors and everything. It was really cool because I lived in a very small town. And one day it just went out of business. And I realized, oh, I guess. Also, you know, I didn't think 28 prismarine would be enough. Toycat starting to see people in chat as individuals, says chat. Thank you, chat, for that suggestion. I don't think it is true, though, Mr. Chattymus. Yeah, people are still... You're still one big blob of chat, don't you worry. Don't you ever worry about becoming individuals. That's not happening on my watch. The roller skate route I'm giving on to for years is closing, says Physics Hacker. See, that's objectively sad. Like, how do you cope with that? So when I crave food from other countries, I'm lucky that I live in London, where food from other countries is white. Like my favorite ramen place is here in London, even though that's a Japanese food. Fun fact. I'm sure I will find. Actually, you know what? My favorite pizza place is probably somewhere in like Italy. I'm sure I'll find somewhere that's just as good in London. There's a lot of Italians here. A lot of them want to make some money, and pizza is like the highest profit margin food in the world, as best I can tell. But yeah, I'm sure that. Also, why is it so dark in here? It's dark. It's grimy. No one likes it. No one likes it at all. So let's gear it a fiddle. Let's pick some torches up. Let's place some torches as we're going, and I'll be good. Spiders are actually beneficial for your house. They give other bugs that you don't want. I just don't know how many bugs that spider must have been eating to be that size. Like, you get me? It's too much for my liking. I think it's fascinating how we form such strong bonds with people like YouTubers we don't even know about our existence, says Jake Carroll. I would argue, if you think about it, right? Also, Charlie's Summon. Glad I'm catching a live stream. Here's the Toycat tax. Why doesn't Mojang make official Enderman plushies that have white eyes? I meant to ask for Q&A Saturday. Oh, this... oh, I'm dumb. Actually, I didn't... I don't know about... You know, that is a weird one that they do... Sorry, the official one does have white eyes. It could be there's like a copyright concern because the Enderman's based on Slenderman or whatever. But it's probably just an oversight by the art team that no one's questioned yet. And they're going to sell 1 billion of them, whether that's correct or not. So I guess they just didn't bother correcting it, maybe. That's my cynical guess. And my cynical guess is my real guess. It seems I've committed Toycat tax fraud until now. You know, the best form of Toycat tax fraud is where you use money that's not... like, actually, that sounds like actually saying fraud. But Google Opinion Rewards, you answer some surveys, Google gives you some money. You can use it for anything, including tipping your favorite YouTuber, and that's the best way to avoid the Toycat tax. Sorry, that's the best way to commit Toycat tax fraud. I guess avoiding committing fraud. What's the difference, really? Are we just splitting hairs here? Saturday is the funniest day. I'd like to see you try and prove me wrong. You know what? I think the day the most jokes are told... Probably, I feel like at least my interpretation of culture works this way, that like, when you're, like, the more hurt you are, the funnier you are. Like, most humor comes from pain, is a observation I would make. Also, where is that coming from? Oh god. There's a whole little... This is tricky. Okay, so we remove all of that, and then remove all of that. And then it doesn't get down here anymore. Problem solved. Then we remove down here. And we remove down there. And we've done it. This is a really weird body of land. I don't know why this exists this way. But whatever. Yeah, I'm funniest when I'm suffering, so not on Saturdays. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, Saturday is... It's not a day of suffering. It's a day of the opposite of suffering. People enjoy Saturdays. And so it's the day where you're the most basic about things. Like, oh, so what's the weather like today? Oh, that's funny, huh? It's funny how the weather's different on different days. Yeah, that's pretty amusing, huh? Yeah, isn't it even weirder that some days the weather's like really different, huh? And then some days it's like the same. Yeah, this is me when I'm not suffering. I'm very funny. If humor comes from pain, why am I not funny, says Winry Games. See, that was a funny joke. Whereas people who haven't suffered, you know? No, I do think that's an over-exaggeration, too. Like, there's the point that people often try to make is that, like, being dumb would make you incredibly happy and whatnot, and I don't think that's entirely true. And I think humor is a coping mechanism for lots of different things. It doesn't have to come from pain. It can come from disillusionment of the world, you know, like, you notice things that are different. Like, hey, isn't it weird that, like, you know, you're brushing your teeth, and then you're like, but sometimes you don't just want to brush your teeth, you want to really brush your teeth, you know? And, like, you know, it's just, I think that's called observational comedy, but it's, like, a very, very hot form. Like, it's the form most people find relatable if you do it well, right? It's like, yeah, it's really true. It's like sometimes you do just brush your teeth, but sometimes you're like trying to attack your teeth with a toothbrush, and we call that the same thing. Isn't that weird, huh? You know, something like that. So I'm gonna place this giant stone pillar down to help prevent the flow of water, and then I'm also gonna place one down over here, I guess. There's some dirt going through here, which is making matters a lot more complicated. But we're going to ignore it for now, because it makes the world work. You have to put soap on your toothbrush? That's pain. I remember once, I was so mad with my brother, I put soap on his toothbrush, and then I just never waited around for the result. So I can only assume that at some point, like 12 hours when I was mad with him, he went, ugh. But I never saw it or heard about it. I never got retaliated on either. I guess he just thought, oh, that sucks. Terrible thing just happened, huh? But yeah, I have not done... You know what? It says something interesting about me, that I've done it some, but I haven't had it happen personally. You know what? Terrible toy cat, and his weird ways again. I put sunscreen on my toothbrush once. See, that sounds like it would taste not good. That's my toy cat recommendation, is don't eat sunscreen. Most chefs will recommend against it. That's all you need to know. Also, just got off work, and as soon as I saw you alive, I had to join. Hey, thank you, James, for joining. I hope you're having a wonderful day. We hit 310 members, which is exciting. I'm very. One of the things that like gives me a positive vibe, because sometimes on streams it's like really demotivating. Like, oh yeah, well there's fewer people than before, or less, or whatever the case may be. You know, like stream metrics, YouTube's always telling you like, hey, you could do better. Why do you suck so much? But one of the things that like is like a point of movement is like, yeah, we went from 290 I think to 305 to 310. We are hitting milestones, and I think having, you know, to kind of go back to that like work ethic thing from earlier, having milestones and goals and stuff, it's like not what you're ever explicitly going for in life, but it's also very useful and enjoyable anyway, to me at least. So I need to go get myself some more prismarine. Is there an easy way to do that? Where's my nearest ender chest, do you reckon? I keep a ton of them around the world. I think there's one just in the village over there. So we'll go there tomorrow, I guess. We'll go there tomorrow. I was lost from my Minecraft house because I was... Okay, I don't know what I'm doing, reading weird stories in chat. I always have to moderate myself of like, I want to just read something out like I'm like really reading and reacting to it. But live chat isn't always perfect for that. Like, there's a lot of cool stories in chat that I'm like, hey, that's cool, that's worth a... But sometimes people tell a story that's like exclusively for them, you know? It's like I was going with like, you know, telling a joke or like telling a story or something. Great way to like share with people. Telling a bad story is a way to get something off your own mind, which is important to do, but also like less valuable. This is, you know, like to some extent, every conversation in life is a trade-off on this. Of like, can you inform or entertain, or you know, explain? It's inform, entertain, educate. I think maybe I forget what it is, but it's like there are 3 like valuable forms of communication, and everything else is like filler to me. That's my view on things. Obviously not endorsed by everyone, but yeah, that's how I view things. Lighting and green screen looking good. Hey, thank you, awesome fossums. See, there we go. That's it's good to see you, Lindsay. It's that's a compliment that makes me feel good. Accidentally sticking salt in your cup of tea instead of sugar. Yuck. See, there you go. That's somewhere halfway between. It's not quite funny, but it's like, ah, yeah, that does suck. You know what? My life doesn't suck by comparison because I don't have salty tea. Salty tea sounds like a euphemism. I don't know what for quite. I just know I shouldn't be saying it. Oh, so let's go place down the prison room. I'm old AF, but you really appealed to me about banter and views about everything, says iBlocks. Hey, thank you. I'm glad I'm old AF too. As you would say if you were not old AF. Also, am I missing, like, how many blocks do we need for the thing to activate? Am I doing it wrong or something? Chat, why don't I have a functioning... Is it more than 28? I guess I must have had 64 and then placed down 36 to make it work, right? So, no way! This was the perfect number. Never mind. It's great. But you can do all of those 5 things. I don't know what 5 things it was. I've entirely lost. I'm sorry. It's all gone. My train of thought is entirely... Either that was a thing, either I said 5 things that you could do. Maybe... But anyway, my point there is that, like, there's a lot of, there are times in life where you need to, like, say something for you. But I try to have as much communication as possible that's, like, geared for another person. Like, it's like a rare treat I allow myself to, like, tell a story that's, like, solely for me. Let me tell a story that's solely for me, chat. Right now, when I went to Switzerland for the first time, I stayed in an easy hotel, which was exciting because it's like EasyJet the airline. It's like a hotel that's like run by the low-cost carrier thing, and I really enjoyed staying there because I loved that the whole idea was like, yeah, we'll make the hotel as cheap as possible. I hate when brands aren't honest about, yeah, our #1 selling point is that we're cheap, but not terrible. Like, I wish more places would be like, yeah, do you want something that does the job just about? We're the people. Because sometimes you really do want perfection, but sometimes you don't. See, look at that. I was trying to tell a story for myself, and I moved into, let's actually talk about the relatability of how not enough things are willing to advertise themselves as just being cheap and good. Cheap and good is what I want, you know? Like, can do the job is fine. Just like Spirit Airlines. I think, you know, any American, because, you know, Spirit Airlines is an American airline. Any American who's like, yeah, I wouldn't fly Spirit. They're the cheap airline. They've been like suckered in by like years of like airline propaganda. Of like, what do you think is really that much worse on Spirit Airlines? What do you think? Do they get there slower? No, it's the same exact planes as their competitors. It's like, do they have worse service? What service are you getting on your flights? Like, are you flying first class everywhere? No. Then what service are you getting? It's a trick question. You're not getting service because that's not how planes work. The only thing is you get upcharged for like, you know, seat selection fees, etc. And so effectively, if you need to select your seat and you need to bring a checked bag, you work out the price of that compared to that. Like, the worst complaint you can say about Spirit is that they're not cheap. And it's like, yeah, well, if they're more expensive, then obviously it's a worse option. But I think that same people that are afraid of public transport. It's just, I don't know, everyone has this attitude of like...
My toy cat tax is very overdue.
It indeed is, Django not Mango. It has been a while. It is good to see you again, Django. How is it going in the hood that you rather would not... Oh, there we go. Let's get the water down here. The best items are the cheap and good items. Reminds me of pasta, right? Pasta is so insanely cheap. And no matter how cheap you buy pasta, it tastes amazing. You know, here's a life pro tip for you. Pasta tastes amazing no matter... I'm going to put a ton of torches on this, by the way. A ton of them? Yeah, we'll put like 2. I'm going to put torches here at where the water level was. So you can see how much lower the water level goes down. That's my really fun idea I'm going with. But like, there's no real difference between the brands of pasta that I can tell. Oh, sorry. Pasta. I'm speaking for Americans now. And we say pasta in this country because we like to say it authentic. You know, Toycat does offensive American accent in the movie. Lo, I tried to sell him a milkshake in BK. You know, I worry about that story becoming your truth, Vincent Andrews. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of cheap things that are objectively like the top of their field, and that really is, that's the pinnacle of like human accomplishment. When we can make something that's cheap and good, it's wonderful. Par star. I'm offended, says Anonymous. I'm so sorry that y'all are offended. You ever consider that maybe offense is not given, but is taken? And that really you being offended just means that you're a worse human being. Have you considered that? I bet y'all haven't considered that. That's because we're very self-centered when we consider our definitions of words. Definition is definitely how you say it. And maybe what we should start to do is have a little empathy with our fellow human beings. If we did that, then maybe we'd all be in a better place, because ultimately, one day we'll all die, and it's all about working out how we can harmoniously live together until that fine day occurs. I don't know why I enjoy doing this accent so much. It's a problem, I know. Okay, so let's start down here. Nice. Then over here. And we'll bring in the light at the same time we remove the gravel. This is going to be satisfying. We're draining away the oil rig. Get it, Toycat? Yeehaw! Yeah, no, I enjoy significantly. By the way, can I just mention, I've turned on subscriber chat for the last, like, few streams. I feel like it's been pretty beneficial, right? If anyone's not subscribed and you're watching this, though, just for fun, I'm gonna quickly turn on anyone chat. Even if you're not subscribed, you can chat. I want to see if there's any difference whatsoever. I'm gonna theorize that there isn't, that most people watching this stream are subscribed. But just in case not, now anyone can chat. So let's see if you, okay, right now, if for some reason you weren't subscribed to the channel, you know, maybe you like house fires, or maybe there'll be no difference. Yeah, if you weren't a subscriber, then say something now, and be excited that you have the access. I didn't even know it was on. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it anyway. Quality over convenience always. Also, I love desert wells. They're coarse and rough, and they don't even get everywhere. That's what I love about desert wells. For your own safety, hit that subscribe button. There ain't no one in America talk like that. Yeah, I would love to see non-subscriber mode. Like, obviously you couldn't have it because it would, like, encourage people to unsubscribe to see it. I'd love to specifically see what non-subscriber mode looked like, you know? Wouldn't that be interesting? Yeah, I don't know. It's there's a lot of things I'd love to see, just for curiosity, you know. Like I feel like life should be a giant science experiment. I like experimenting on things, because ultimately, like, you don't know until you know is like the rule for most things. it seems. The reason he has 1 million, he not only provides great content, but he keeps you safe too. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Just sort of my recommended, just tuning into random content, enjoying thus far, but not subject, says Matigan. Have you considered subscribing? I know you don't really need to subscribe to anything on YouTube these days, but if I ask you personally and I say, hey, I've been having a real hard time with subscribers on YouTube. It's not been my priority, admittedly, but just, you know, the number of subscribers gained a month is like very, very small. My content doesn't go that far outside my subscription base. And then when it does, people don't choose to subscribe. So it's all about like hitting those people and like hopefully encouraging them to subscribe. But also it's about like, I think it's actually all about that. I think it's all about like finding the people who watch my videos but don't subscribe and coming up with a compelling reason to convince them. Like it's also about expanding outside that audience, like I just mentioned. But I think that's the bigger part of like what I can do that I'm currently not doing. Reason 7000 why ToyCat shouldn't have kids? Experimenting. Can confirm that since I've subscribed, my house has not caught fire, but my Minecraft house did. Ah, you gotta subscribe me on a second account inside Minecraft for that to work, Jay. That is how that one works. I do like the ToyCat is pretty chill when it comes to subs. I think it's like, I don't know. It's definitely like a quality of life trade-off where it's like, I could maximize revenue better by being better at telling people to subscribe. There is no doubt about it. Like there are lots of things I should be optimizing that I'm kind of prioritizing not for now. But like it's only a matter of time till I have to because the YouTube algorithm moves at a speed that means that it's like, well, you can either follow the things that you do to survive or you can not survive. There's no third option. There's no have all the benefits about doing all the things. You know, this is kind of where I was going with my... We'll leave the sponge there for now. This is kind of where I was going with my point from before. So, like, if you want to make a perfect society, to get, like, this is a struggle a lot of, like, real-world, like, people have had when trying to make a perfect country, even. Is, like, to get to the stage of a perfect country, everyone's got to do, like, the work to get there, right? There's, like, there's a lot of work involved in making paradise. Let's just say paradise, you know? Heard some very concerning noises. You know, there's like paradise is something that like is objectively probably desirable, right? No one's ever like, you know, I really hate the concept of paradise. It just seems like it's not that good. I wish there was some way we could not have paradise. No, that's not a thing. Everyone would like the idea because the idea is it's like inherently built in, right? Like, so I'm going to place gravel here instead of stone, and then later we could fix that, should we want to. Why can I not... It's so weird, the blocks that you can't place projectiles onto correctly. Or, not projectiles, droppables, I guess. You'd get bored of paradise after some time. Yeah, this is the good places philosophy of, like, even if you make genuine, literal heaven, people will get bored of that eventually. And, like... The thing is, if you're actually talking about, like biblical style, right? You're talking about religion. Then you know, like, or you're talking about like an omnipotent being is designing it. Then you could make a paradise that you would never get bored of, because just like, couldn't you argue that like, oh yeah, it gets really boring being a human after a few months? Like, you do the same thing every single day, and it's like, yeah, you get bored. There are some aspects of life that get boring. Don't you hate how you have to walk to and from the same area every day? Or sorry, for Americans. Don't you hate how you have to get on the 401 every day with those darn drivers from out of state? There you go. That's your equivalent of walking, I think. Jumping on the 401. Where is the 401? No one knows. But it's definitely a highway somewhere. Okay, we got another stack of torches. We're good. Why? Southern drama. I'm having so much fun with the accents today. It's been too long. Where did the accents go? That's my question. Why did we ever stop? 401 is the main Canadian highway, says Martine Pearson. You know, Martin. That's a fun name, by the way. You're French, right? That's the only way you have a weird name like that and know things about Canada. Yeah, like if you're making an ideal paradise, of course you'd be like, yeah, it's one way you can never get bored because, ultimately, like everything in life sounds kind of boring when you really picture it out too much. I love how Americans say they don't sound like that when some of them actually do. Yeah, it's that problem of, like, a lot of Americans don't know anyone in person who sounds like that, but people from America do. It's kind of like the, like, people from Britain, like, we don't sound as highly sophisticated as people like to imagine we do, but yet there are some people who genuinely do speak this way. There are the David Attenboroughs of the world. Anyway, so, you know, doesn't your life sound boring if you were to describe it to someone else? Because, you know, when you describe your life to people, you're trying to make it sound interesting. But if you were to, like, do away with the facade and be like, okay, here's what my life really is. I go to the same 3 places every single day. And then some days on my day off, I go to the same 10 places. And that's 99.9% of my life. You know, it's like, it would sound very dull, is what I'm saying. Your life objectively sounds incredibly dull. And, you know, even when you have a pretty varied life, it's still only ever going to be, you know, there's a maximum amount of like variety that you can have in a modern functioning world, and that is interesting to me. Okay, so we're gonna place some torches here, kind of co-opposite the ones over there. Are those at the right level, or are they 1 block too high? They're 1 block too high. Oopsie. So we'll break these torches off, and we'll go. My dad speaks very posh, and he had a bad accident when he was in his early 20s, and had to relearn how to speak, so he sounds like the speech therapist that helped him. I've been considering going to a speech therapist to crystallize. Either I've got to, like, lock in that American accent that's growing, or I've got to lock in the British accent that I used to have. Because I genuinely feel like being British on the internet is just a big advantage. Like, why would... I feel like it's like a selling point, you know? Like, ooh, he's British. He must know what he's talking about as he, you know, spouts off absolute nonsense. I have a slightly different schedule every week, but it's still pretty routine. But, like, routine is actually something you do like. And I feel like, actually, though, part of that is, like, routine adversity. Like, okay, here's an interesting thing. Adversity that you don't expect and you don't know about is some of the worst experiences you can have in life. Like, oh, you didn't know that there was a bill about to be paid and you don't have the money and now there's a bailiff. That's terrifying. That's adversity no one enjoys. I don't imagine, at least. But there are types of adversity that, like, genuinely your life is better with than without. Like, oh yeah, there's that annoying coworker that you've got to learn to deal with. There's the, you know, my point here is I think that some people thrive on small amounts of adversity. We don't have bailiffs in Scotland. What do you have instead? I actually, you know, in general, I prefer from, like, okay, you know, I think living in the UK is really cool because you have this weird mix of legal systems. Like, there's England and Wales, then there's Scotland, and there's Northern Ireland. I love the way buying and selling a house works in Scotland. So tell me how bailiffs work there. I'd love to. They just don't take our stuff. But what if they need to? You know, what if you owe them money? What's the recourse method? How do they, you get me? What's the scoop? How does that work? Actually, you know, are bailiffs a thing in America, or is it a British thing? I realize you don't hear about them much there, right? Chat, does America have bailiffs? Like, when you don't pay your debts, someone can just come around your house and take your stuff? And, like, you know, I guess they've got to do it to roughly the amount of money that your debt is. I don't know how they work that out. Like, are they property valuation experts? We don't have bailiffs in America. There's no way it's just an England and Wales thing. Huh, interesting. So if you owe someone money, we call it repos. The repo people. There we go. Yeah, obviously, but just to clarify, by the way, I should clarify, it's not like you... it's not like people can just come around your house at any time and be like, you owe us money, we're taking your stuff. You know, as funny as that would be, you know, actually, I prefer the world I've accidentally almost invented, where just, at any point in time, people can just come around your house and take your stuff. Like, should have thought about that before you got in debt, huh? There's a lot of dirt up here. Oh, this is actual dirt from the real ground. American bailiffs are the sheriffs in the courtroom. If you don't pay your taxes, they put a lien on your home. Ooh, a lien. I know it's actually pronounced lien, even though it looks like lane. Yes, you can have furniture, cars, and other things you financed and defaulted on repossessed. Oh, that's different. That's repossession, right? That's like if you. I feel like there's a difference between, you know, like if, for instance, right, if I just refuse to pay any of my debts, obviously a mortgage is a different thing. But if, like, I take out a credit card and then I just never pay it back, and then I never speak to them, I never arrange a payment plan, I just go, ha, my money now. Then they can send someone around the house, and then they can take my sofa, even though I didn't buy the sofa with a credit card, because they can sell the sofa and get some money for it. I actually don't know what priority bailiffs have in doing things. And also, I don't think they can come in your house without your permission. I don't know how the whole system works, honestly. It's so very confusing. Like with most things, you just kind of shut your ears and hope for the best. That's how life works. It's unsecured debt, so they'll write it off. See, there we go. You know, that does seem more humane. You know, does it actually? See, here's... Okay, you know... On paper, that sounds more humane. But American borrowing is more expensive than borrowing in the UK. I know this because I have a... I won't call him out. Because, just in case he wants to stay private. I have an American friend who got a mortgage basically the same time as me. Also, good news, everyone. I have the best of news to share with you. Do you want to know what that news is? I'll share it with you a few seconds early. Get this, right? There is now a 311th member. Do. And you know what happens when we get a member? You know what happens. Yeah, it's the Wheel of Toycat. I like that. I've never watched Wheel of Fortune, but everyone seems to react well when I say Wheel of Toycat, so let's roll with it, you know. Okay. Let's go. Ooh. What are we gonna get today? What are we gonna... Oh, it's not the pickle juice shot. It's give advice. Okay, so I'm gonna give you some advice, Saverton. The advice I'm gonna give you is, because we're talking about, like, oh yeah, unsecured debts. Oh my god, Timmy T. Hohan just became a rich cat. Hey, you not see, that is incredible. I'd argue that counts as, multiple memberships, but I don't make the rules, sadly. You know, thank you so much for becoming the 312th member. A mega member, too. What do we even do for rich cat spins? Do you get to spin? Well, okay, you know what we should have? I'm not gonna do this because, like, people would probably argue it's a two-tier system, it's not fair. We should have a rich cat wheel, but we're gonna do an extra hard spin. Oh, what are we gonna get? What are we gonna get? Oh. 2 jumping jacks. You deserve better than that. But the wheel was said what the wheel said. Thank you so much. I wanna say again, that is, there are very few rich cats. Thank you for joining in on the club. The two whole jumping jacks for a thing. Do you ever finish giving advice? Does anyone ever finish anything anymore? Okay, get this right. Ooh, we ready? We ready? Yeah, we are. Yeah, look at that low rise. Oh yeah, you can see. Give me a little. You know, we can make these streams a good health decision for me if we keep that up long enough, huh? I feel so unadvised, says Saberton. Okay, so Saberton, I'm gonna give you some advice because the wheel has determined it so. So Saberton, everyone always says one of two things, and it's like never go anywhere near debt, or they'll say like, well, actually, debt's a good thing. It's like, I would say, Debt is one of the most dangerous tools you have as an adult. See, you're called Saberton, so you must like saving money. Otherwise, you wouldn't have that name. And so you might be tempted to be like, yeah, I'm just never going to use debt because, you know, it sucks, it's dumb. But the truth is like, to function as an adult in modern day society, you need to have at least some amount of debt. Like, get a credit card with a really low limit, pay it off every month in full, and you can build some credit. It's a wonderful thing. And then when you need debt for something powerful, like leveraging debt to buy a house is a really smart investment. Of course, I'm going to say that because I just bought a house, but like I bought the house because I thought it was smart. I'm not telling you it's smart because I bought the house. And so like there's other things like if you do ever need access to money in an emergency, if you are unproven, it's very expensive. Whereas if like there's this funny thing in finance, the more you need to borrow money, the less people want to give you money. And this is actually true. Like people who are like desperate for money are like the worst people to give money to because like they're not thinking about how they're going to pay it back. They're just desperately thinking about how to get it. Whereas when they don't really need the money, you know it's like, oh yeah, well this is a finance play. Like, oh, they're going to get paid at the end of the month, a lot of money, but they're getting some bonus for not moving their money around or whatever it is, you know. Like the more money you have, the cheaper finance is, and that's one angle of it. But it's also the more reliable. Why did I wake up in the middle of the night? I blame the dog. And so the other thing is the more reliable a borrower you are, the way it is. Debt isn't bad if you're using it for leverage. No, I mean, debt for leverage is still... It's not bad, it's just dangerous, right? Because that leverage is costing you money. Right? Like, you know, you wouldn't take... You wouldn't ask a bank to borrow $1 million and then invest that in the stock market. Or you wouldn't ask a bank for $1 million and bet it on black. Well, you shouldn't, at least. I'm not going to tell you what you can and cannot do. And so, yeah, that's my kind of take here. I feel like leverage is a... Also, is everyone okay? Is the stream going fine? Okay, we're fine. But you are wise beyond your years, says Pookie Helms. I don't know. There's a lot of things in life where just no one gives you a guide for it, and you have to work it out on yourself. And and there's an instinctive opinion, and then there's like a real opinion, like how it actually is. And it's always interesting to me why those two things are different. Also, thank you so much, Midnight Angel, for becoming the 313th. You know, it'd be cool if it was 513th, but you know, let's not get ahead of ourselves right now. Thank you for becoming the 313th member. Ooh, you know what you get? A spin on the wheel of Toycat. Oh, what are you gonna get today? Is it gonna be the pickle? No, no. Oh, barely missed it. I'm gonna do your accent. So, if you could do me a favor, Midnight Angel, because if you don't tell me, I'm gonna guess where you're from. Tell me where you're from, and I'm gonna do your accent. Just if you want to see this, let's do your accent. Tell me where you're from, so I can do your accent. If you don't tell me where you're from, I'm gonna have to guess based on Midnight Angel. I'm gonna guess like, oh, it's America. Howdy, folks. I'm Midnight Angel, and I'm here to say that my country is actually not just... Oh, wait, okay. I've got to make this rhyme, and I'm here to say, my country isn't like this every day. There we go. That's something. I'll take it. Yeah, I'm Midnight Angel, and I'm having a wonderful... Okay, no, I'm gonna guess you're actually from, like, I don't know, Northern America somewhere. I got a city accent. This is the only accent I can do, I'm sorry. I thought that would come out as a New York accent, but it didn't, you know. Also, Charles Shonan, thank you so much for becoming the 314th member. We are now just 36 members away from our goal. And you know what's better than being 36 away from the goal? It's getting a spin on the wheel of Toycat. Well, I'll remind you, there is a pickle juice shot still taunting me every time I spin. Please, okay. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Oh no, no, no! Why would I say it? Why would I say it? It was, do you see the way, if that red thing was as strong as it's meant to be, because it's really weak, because I bought this. I bought this from the cheapest seller on Amazon. If that was as strong as it was meant to be, this wouldn't suck. I just assumed it wouldn't happen 2 streams in a row, you know? So, this is a shot glass of pickle juice. It's actually a double shot glass of pickle juice, because I hate myself, apparently. And, I didn't realize, because I got this from Texas. I got this from the Buc-ee's I got this shirt from. I used to think, oh, like, it's funny, because Texas, it's a gun. But get this right, it's a shot glass. You get it? Like a... It's a shot glass. And like, it took me so long to get that. I'm not very smart. So we're gonna do a shot of pickle juice. And it's... Whose fault is it? You know whose fault it is. It's Charles Sonan's. Let's go. So I do it from the barrel end, like... I think being slightly warmer... I think it being slightly warmer than last time has helped me. Or maybe I'm just building up a tolerance for pickle juice, and I'm going to start drinking this casually in my spare time now. Oh, that was something. My stomach just feels immediately like, ooh, you've made a mistake putting this in you, friend. Why do you act like pickle juice tastes bad, says Shadowfax Dog. Do you drink pickle juice? It will start to taste good. That's the dream. I can't wait until the day where, like, it genuinely tastes the way chat is imagining it. That would be a good day, as far as I'm concerned. Also, thanks for the level 4 lockdown here fun. Thanks for making it fun. Have you guys heard? I'm not going to present any comment alongside this. New Zealand is in the highest level lockdown, or at least Auckland's in the highest level lockdown. I don't know about the rest of the country, because they detected 1 coronavirus case. And again, there's reasons for that, and it's like whatever. When you go into health, you make it a lot less funny of a news story. But like, isn't that funny in the abstract? That like, okay, is it not funny? Oh, I did my best. First live, yay! I love your content. Thank you so much, Stephanie Merritt, for loving my content. You know what I love more than you love my content? I love you loving my content. But no, thank you very much, Stephanie Merritt. Oh, you must be from the same place the Midnight Angel is from. You see, Midnight Angel implies the midnight is a substantial thing, whereas when you live on the south, midnight's kind of the same thing all year round. Wait, no, that makes no sense. Put the wheel away. Oopsie. It's cool having a little buttons just to turn it off and on. I need to get everything in my life set up with just 1 button. That's what I'm... Oh, there's water up there still. Need to work that one out, I guess. Man, it's so annoying when I get stuck in these places. Very, very weird experience. Not normal, is all I'll say. Okay, so... Yeah, we're, I've seen people chase a shot of whiskey of shot pickle juice. They call it a pickleback, says Elock. You know what? Jacqueline said it earlier, and I was inclined not to believe. I was like, that's just young people dumb things, right? You know? But, you know, or like, you know, like regional things. You know how it is when you live in a weird corner of America? You're like, oh yeah, what we like to do here is we chase horses round and round in circles. And it's like, you know, that's one place, sure. I bet someone does do that. Okay, so keep on draining. Very, very draining. Very, very paining. Okay, I feel like the progress has actually been pretty astounding. If you don't mind me saying so myself. Any chance you use a flying machine to clear out water, says Luke Mushak. Where would the fun be in that? No, I actually, because of all the buildings around here, I actually can't do that. Which is my official explanation. I probably could if I just tried hard enough. But where's the fun in that, you know? This is about the hard work and the you know, that's what it's all about.
1337 F0R fun. Smiley face.
Thank you so much, Timmy Toher.
And for support.
Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. You know, 1337 is a lot, objectively. That's basically a lobster roll paid for right there. Thank you for paying your tax. It is very appreciated. But yeah, so people say weird things like, you know, one of the craziest things about like speaking to people from other places is people sometimes get mixed up what's like them specifically and what is like, you know, just like everyone. Like I do this all the time. Like I don't know what's British and what's like I thought that Kit Kat, actually Kit Kat is British, but I used to think Skittles were, whereas Skittles are actually very American. Apparently M&Ms are American. Like you work it out, but like it's not intuitive to me. There's a lot of things like that where it's like, oh, I would have guessed that was a thing from me, or at least like an everyone thing, but it's actually an American thing. Has he? Because you know the funny thing about the modern world is like globalization has kind of removed a lot of the barriers between nations when it comes to trading at the very least. Like you can, you know, the fact that you can watch this video from anywhere in the world shows that point. And like, you know, 100 years ago, you wouldn't have been able to listen to what a British person thinks about leveraging debt, because, you know, all of those things wouldn't exist. There were no British people 100 years ago. Debt wasn't a concept. What is leverage? That doesn't make any sense. Skittles are my favorite sweet. Skittles are my favorite if you, like, ignore... Okay, so what I love about Skittles is you throw the whole bag of Skittles in your mouth. Literally the entire thing. And it's one of the best experiences. Like, there are a few experiences that can top a whole bag of Skittles all at once. What I don't like about Skittles is that, like, if you're going to have that many, you know, calories, or that much sugar, or whatever health metric you want to use, it's like, you should... there's better options for it. They make vegan Kit Kats now. They do make vegan Kit Kats now. I'm very aware of the vegan chocolate bar space, it seems. No more Brits. How small are those Skittles bags? I like doing it with any size Skittle bag. The bigger the Skittle bag is, the more fun it is to all-in-one it, right? It does have to be said. You're gonna have a lot more fun chugging a big bag than a small bag. That's just, you know, that's just a fact of life. There's a thing that exists, whether you like it existing or not. Oh yeah, so I need some stone to make this actually go anywhere interesting. But I can remove this for now. Not without stone, I can't. Can I remove this without stone? Yes, I can. So let's do it. Just don't do it with the Halloween flavors. Oh god, Halloween Skittles. Don't remind me, Ice Maiden. Don't remind me. See, that's an interesting thing that is only in the United States. That you might not even realize that, like, every single, like, candy in America has, like, 15,000 variants for each season, each weather pattern. You know, like, there's a lot of variants, is what I'm saying. Whereas it's pretty standardized outside of that one country I just mentioned before. Isn't that interesting? I've got to sleep soon, says Timmy Tohan. It's a working day tomorrow in your country, and it's 11:50. I'm from Finland, by the way. Finland's fascinating to me because it's like a very European country, but like the time zone is like one further east than it. Everything about the country just feels like a tiny bit different to its neighbors and to like you know, Finland's interesting. I like Finland. I went to Finland only once, and that's my biggest tragedy. What's Toycat's feelings on tomorrow's? I feel like we push too many of our problems onto tomorrow, when really we should be dealing with our problems today. See, this is actually blocking the great view now, I feel, that I could be having, were that not that. Honestly, I might have to, like, piece by piece remove it. Like, it looks really dumb now it's not on the water, right? It's floating over nothing for some reason. Yeah, I might remove that. I'm not sure. Some streams have gone past midnight, says Brian Smith. Yeah, it's pretty normal for my streams to go to like 11ish PM UK time. I'm trying to work on my... Actually, I'm not trying to work on... I've been doing a good enough job of not dying sleep-wise recently, and then I started failing because I've been having a lot of emotional turmoil recently, and it's led to it's led to some long evenings. Some, you know, when you're sad, it's hard to care about day-to-day activities. It's kind of like a struggle, honestly. Like it sucks that you're so focused on like just not feeling good. That you start to do things that will make you not feel good for longer. It's like a destructive tendency almost. But it's like it's not quite destructive. It's just not caring about things will get you good, you know. Speaking of not caring about things, sending love. Thank you, Elia. Exo, it's Abigail. You know, your name says Elia Exo, it's Abigail. You know, is it Abigail or is it Elia? Elia is not even a name. You know, none of this makes any sense. But it's good to see. You're also one of those names I recognize from a long time ago. By that I mean like 3 or 4 years, if we're being honest. You know, is 3 or 4 years a long time ago? That's a fun question of the day. I mean, like, objectively. Actually, is there objective things in time? Like, sometimes you'll hear about something being 1,000 years ago, and you don't really process it, because, like, what is 1,000 years? Fun facts, Finland is not a Scandinavian country, but it is a Nordic country. I do know this fact, and I like to taunt people with it. It's Fennoscandian, is the way you describe, Finland, Sweden, and Norway in particular. Maybe that also covers Denmark, you know? Who knows anymore? No one knows anything. But, yeah, Finland's a very interesting country. Finland's a very, very interesting country. There's, like, it's in such a... One of the weird things to me, like, so I've been into F1 recently. An insane amount of Formula 1 drivers per capita come from Finland. And it's something about, like... Because racing is one of the loneliest sports. Like, it's just you and a vehicle. And so something about that isolation, like, attracts Finnish people. Because there's, like, a certain, like, respected desire in Finnish nature of, like, just being left alone, basically. Honestly, that's something more countries need to get going. Like, let's all respect that our biggest thing we need to free each other from is social interaction. The worst thing you can do to someone is give them an unnecessary social interaction. The worst thing. I'm talking worse than the major crimes that one can commit. I have one question to ask before I go. How do I get the rich toy catters on your server? It might apply automatically. Other people are in charge of how the Discord works, because I'm not a Discord person, to put it lightly. Finnish accent is very interesting. This is not a Finnish accent at all. You still taking your walks, Mr. Cat? I didn't take one today or yesterday because I had food in the house. And I was like, if I go out for a walk and I don't get food, what's even the point? I probably need to undo that for like a health reason, honestly. There's a lot of things I need to undo for health reasons. There's a lot of unhealth working its way through my system right now. Yeah, I despise getting asked to answer a question in class when my hand wasn't up. You know, that is an example, right, of like, why? Like, I get why they do it, actually. Like, as a teacher, it's like, yeah. If everyone fears that they might be asked at any second, it's a good way to keep people engaged. A lot of teachers just use it as like, oh, no one's asking, so I'm just gonna... You know, that's like a sign they're doing a bad job, but they're pushing it onto the students for some reason. Isn't it weird that my colors might be different from your colors? For example, my purple could be your red, and there's no way of proving it. Yeah, this is one of those like fundamental philosophical problems you can never solve. Like, you can scientifically say that the brain receives it the same way, and like I think in reality, like again, you can scientifically accept that it's most likely. Therefore, that it is incredibly likely that my red is your red and that your purple is my purple. But like, it's one of those like bounds of human communication problems. I know I thought about this a lot. That like, it's really hard to communicate things. You know, like to communicate things, you have to trust that you're both. You know, like there's a level of trust in sharing things. Obviously, like, how can I communicate with you while trusting that you will communicate? You know, there's a level of that in there, but there's also like, how can I communicate this detail with you because it's purely visual? How can you describe visuals? It's like, well, it's red. What is red? Red is that color from that thing there. If I'm colorblind or I've got my color palettes mixed up, where for some reason my blue is red. Would anyone actually know? Probably not, right? Because that's the point. Most people would say blue is a more relaxing color than red or green. But that could be based entirely on context, right? Like, I see blue as relaxing because I think cold places are relaxing to me. Actually, you know, it should be the other way around, right? You should. The stereotype is that people find beaches relaxing. By the way, speaking of stereotypes, guess what just happened? We have our 315th member, and you know what that means? Oh, that's not how you. Okay, I'll get there eventually. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Thank you so much, Jabaki, for becoming the 315th member. I don't know what I keep pressing here. You know what it means when you become a member? We spin the wheel of Toycat. Could be anything. Could be anything. Oh, we got 2 jumping jacks. Is this just Toycat gets some exercise done the live stream? Let's do it. Let's go. Whew. Oh. Okay. What if colors don't exist? Deep, man. Deep. I'm very in shape, trust me. Very, very in shape. Toycat, the reality is you're secretly my dad. You know, I think I'd find some fulfillment in being like the father role for some strangers on the internet that are already grown up and therefore won't annoy me like children do. I think I don't mind being your fill-in dad. Okay, so since I'm your fill-in dad, let me just tell you, first of all, the world is mean sometimes, and the world is caring other times. Your whole job is to work out when it's doing one and not the other, and it's near impossible just by context. But that's what life is. It's working out when the world is cruel and uncaring, and when the world actually cares and you're just not noticing. Michaela Locke, thank you so much for becoming a channel member. Welcome to the Cool Cat Club. Exercise releases endorphins, the happy juice. Maybe this is actually just a way for me to become a better streamer. So, thank you very much for becoming the 316th channel member. Yeah, look at that. You see that? That's exciting. 34 away now, right? You can be my father model. I'm 35. Is that a problem? No problem whatsoever, Bearded Water. So you know what you get, Michaela? You get the wheel of Toycat. It's tell a joke. So why did the big salmon blush? Because the seaweed. But You're welcome. You're welcome for that high quality internet dad humor. See, I'm the internet's father figure now. I have to keep up with my job role. Yeah, the seaweed. I'm glad everyone got where I was going with that. That's good. That's all I want in life. Also, I think I missed a tip from Maxate the Donkey. Lettuce. Well, didn't miss anything of value. Now laugh. Thank you everyone for deciding to laugh at my very good humor. It's very funny. That was a computer writes dad jokes. That was a computer writes dad jokes? I'm not sure what you mean by that. That's a set of words that doesn't make sense to me. It's like saying oogle sploogle boogle boogle sploogle stoogle. And it's like, ah yes. I too am having a stroke at this exact moment. So we're gonna place a sponge over there. Place one over here. Place one down here. And also down there, apparently. And also down there. And also there. And now there. And there. And there. And now we got a lot more gravel that we can drain. Which is just what we want in life. Spoogle boogle to man. This is basically how every toddler talks. Toycat is a toddler confirmed. We don't just have to look at my taste in basically everything, right? Honestly, everyone keeps saying that at some point my palate will develop bitter. Because that's the reason truffle is such a popular thing with older people, right? If you like truffle and you're young, sorry, you're old. Now you know. It's because like it's complex or something or other. But my taste is still the same of like, give me as much sweetness as you can in one package, and I'll be happier than if you do anything else. Why do you only have? Okay, we'll wait till it shows up on screen so I can look. If I don't answer, if I answer a tip before it shows up on screen, someone always goes, "Oh, Toycat, are you ignoring your tips?" It's like, no, you're ignoring my stream. You know, this genuinely upsets me. People listening, tuning in for 5 seconds and going, "Those 5 seconds I caught are representative of everything." Like I made a video, and in that video, I said, well, no one's saying that black lives don't matter. And then clearly, so many people are like, did Toycat just say that black... It's like, did you zone out for the no one ever says that bit? Are there no preambles to you? Is life all just... Not preambles, prefixes? Is life just one sentence at a time with no context? Why do you only have one earphone in, lol? It's because if I try to fit the second one in... Like, so my PC is like... This is me stretching it 100% of the way so that it falls out. It's a big problem I have. I could just get headphones with longer cable, but I'd rather not do that either, honestly. To spin the wheel of Toycat, become a member, link in the description. I agree with Cat Beanie. You can trust her more than you can trust your father figure on the internet that is telling you to do questionable things. So I'm gonna actually put these torches back in, just so that the torch box is still a torch box. Need a pro gamer headset. Yeah, I'm genuinely thinking of getting like some wireless earphones. Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be smart. I should do that. I bought some speakers, but maybe no speakers would be better. I used to love sweet things too. Now the sugar upsets my stomach, says Jamie. Oh, sugar upsets my stomach on such an unmentionably large level. You know, when I get to see my doctor in a few weeks' time, I will be mentioning my stomach, and then she'll be dismissed. Get an audio extension cable. No, I think I will buy some speakers and I'll buy some wireless headphones. You know, okay, chat. I wanna ask a. You go okay if you like it. I don't think that's like the space bro would do well. I'd love to, but I wouldn't be a space I'd do well on. Max ate the donkey. Thank you for becoming. What is this? Pi? No, Pi is 314, right? Oh, we missed Pi members. Thank you for becoming the 317th channel member. You know what you get for becoming a member? A spin on the wheel of Toycat. Yeah, you know it. You know it's happening. You know it could be anything. Ooh, that yellow slice there is the pickle juice one. Thank God I tell a story instead. Oof. Also, Josephine Hickman, welcome to the stream. Glad you're joining for your first one. You're witnessing me telling a story to your good friend Max the donkey, which Max ate the donkey, sorry. Why did you eat a donkey, Max? What did the donkey do to deserve being eaten? Okay, story time, right? So you know, actually, this is a very minor story, but I want to tell anyway. When I was flying back to the UK from America, actually, was it? Yeah, it was this time. I was at the airport, you know, as you do, as you know, you go to airports. That tends to be the way. And I was waiting in a really long line in front of some Asian ladies. It's fine, you know, it's New York. This is an expected detail. No issues until we get to the line. And I don't know why this bothered me so much, but I grab a ton of bins, like 2 or 3 for myself, maybe. And I start laying them out and putting my stuff in there. And as I'm doing so, they like grab my, you know, they just like start putting their things in there and I'm like, oh no, like, and then I just figured, you know, I'm not gonna say anything about it. I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna go grab myself another one. You know, you can have that bin that you erroneously assumed I was getting for you, and like I'm gonna retroactively make myself nice, right? Like if they thought I got it for them, then you know, there you go. Here's me being nice. You know, that's the best way to interpret that. But then also they left their stuff in front of mine as well as behind mine, so I had to like push their things and push my things. And like when you're at airport security, like you don't want to make any wrong moves to anyone else's stuff, but also like they're not doing it and they're going. Yeah. Anyway, long story short, is Do you feel like, this is like a question I want to ask. Are they actually rude, or are they just misunderstanding? Or can you be both misunderstanding and rude? That's like my question. Because I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt, right? Like, oh yeah, well, they just, you know, it's something. It's different. Airport etiquette is important. I didn't even know there was much airport etiquette that you like could have. Like, it's like, to me it seemed pretty straightforward. That why do people buy speakers? If it's just one person, then use headphones. They sound so much better, to be honest. I'm gonna head out now. Have a good night. Oh, it's mostly just for the ease of not having to put them on, right? That'd be the biggest benefit for me. I'm gonna buy some terrible speakers too. They're gonna be arse. If that hurts you even more. But yeah, thank you for coming into the stream. I appreciate it. Self-centered is still rude. Is self-centered rude? Or is it just self-centered? I don't know. There are some places in life where, like, I'm willing to admit, like, I am more self-centered than you would prefer. And people generally agree, like, well, as long as you know you're self-centered. It's like, what? Why does the knowledge of it make it so much better? Isn't it still the same actions? Also, I agree, airport etiquette, very important. But I think just understanding the basics of, like, how not to tread on people's toes, probably important. Probably ideal that people be learning that. If we play sponges here, it's not going to do anything because of the giant stone exposed belly that's right there. So instead we just... Oh, it's still getting over here. Okay, so instead what we do is we place some gravel there. And now we can get this back. Can you finish the thought about America being more expensive to borrow in than the UK, says Brian Smith. Oh yeah, so there's probably a lot of details that lead to this. America's banking market is fractured. America doesn't have bailiffs, apparently. So, like, okay, so borrowing in the United States of America is more expensive than borrowing in the UK. I don't imagine that's true everywhere all the time. But at least when it comes to credit cards and when it comes to mortgages, the two things I do have experience with, it is more expensive. Ooh, I knew that would happen. It is more expensive to borrow in the United States than the UK. And so you could theorize that some of that, because a lot of it is like fractured banking, some of it's just, you know, different markets, so they're going to make different amounts of money. But some of it you could directly pin, like 100% directly pin, on the fact that if you borrow money and don't pay it back, then what are they going to do? Nothing. They can't take your stuff, right? And so by having a really regressive mean rule in there, that if you don't pay back your debts, strangers can come around your house and rob you. You then make it cheaper for everyone who does pay back their stuff on time. And I've always felt there's this interesting space, right, of like, society can choose to do this in a lot of ways, making life more uncomfortable for those not following the rules, and in exchange it's more comfortable for those who do. Or vice versa, you could say, making life harder for people who, yeah, or making life easier for people who do follow the rules at the expense of making it harder for those who don't. But like, you know, the thing is like, how many people are choosing not to follow rules versus being stuck in a situation where they can't? But then it's still like, well, shouldn't you still encourage the good rather than the bad? But then also you could argue, does it, you know, is, you know, is the government there to make morality decisions about what's good or bad? Or is it there to help the most people? And then you could argue, well, helping the most people would be helping the average person. But then you could argue, well, isn't one bit of help for someone who needs it more important than 10 bits of help for people who don't need the help, you know? Like, if you give 10 wealthy people $1,000, that's a lot less, you know, units of good being done than giving one, you know, homeless person $1,000 to get back on their feet. And then you could argue, well, you know, ultimately, you could argue it's all meant to be for good, but isn't it, like, some amount like a business, and shouldn't we be directly not discouraging people from doing good things? And then you could argue, well, again, no one is choosing to do badly because of the benefits, because even if you ignore the financial costs of doing poorly in life, there is a social stigma in most circles that will discourage you from doing badly. And then you could argue, well, even though there is a social stigma for doing badly, some people are not exposed to that because they come from, you know, like that. Maybe, you know, like we don't have equal parenting in life. Some people's parents will do a lot more for them than other people's parents will do. And then you could argue, well, then that is the parents' fault. Why should society be externalizing the risks that the parents create on top of everyone? Why should we as a society come together to fix bad parenting when it's the parents' fault. And then you could argue, well, it doesn't actually matter that it's just the parents' fault because, you know, regardless of the parents being bad or not, that human being is there. And then you could say, well, regardless of the fact that the human being's just there, ultimately, you need to discourage people from being bad parents in the future by saying if you're a bad parent, your kid will suffer. You can't just say, oh yeah, we'll cover, anytime it's a bad child, we'll look after it, because then it's a double standard. Then you can say, no, well, it's not a double standard, because I think that we should be looking after everyone in the same way that you propose looking after children. But then you could say, well, you can't do that without suffering from the people who are doing normally, who are looking after their own children. Why should you be penalized for living a good life and donating to charity and all of these other things? And then you could say...
When someone cuts me off in traffic, I like to wave them in. That way, I turn their douchebaggery into my benevolence.
See, yeah, that there is like I feel like there's a very good psychological benefit of doing that. Also, by the way, I have not been to Margate, Maxate the donkey. I'm also final payment. Thank you for the tips. I also want to say, Toycat has an argument with himself, says physics hacker. That was fun. I should do that more often. I like arguing with me. I'm way more fun to argue with than anyone else. I'm just saying. Everyone else needs to up their game. Be as interesting as I am. We actually can finish this gravel wall all the way over to there. Hey, Bearded Wanderer! Thank you so much for becoming a channel member. The 318th channel member, indeed. You know what happens when you become a channel member? I'll give you a clue. It starts with wheel and ends with Toycat. Because welcome. Oh god, what is killing me? Oh, that's what's killing me. Welcome to the wheel of Toycat. My girlfriend does the passive-aggressive wave lol, says Jacqueline Smith. See, right, the turning a bad into like a good is like probably good psychologically, or maybe it's not. Maybe you should accept when the, or maybe it's, you know, whatever. Anyway, so we gotta spin the wheel. No time for messing around today. Oh god, there is time for messing around today, because otherwise we'll die. I forget we're going into the bit of the ocean that isn't entirely safe. Okay, wheel of Toycat spin. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's sit around in the nighttime. And let's spin that. Wait. I gotta see who's... Bearded Warrior. Let's spin that wheel. Oh, no. Okay. We dodged Pickle Juice shot. And we got give advice. Ooh. I like that. Let's give some advice, huh? Okay, so... Bearded Warrior. You can name a subject you'd like advice on. But I'm gonna up... Actually, yeah, that's a good idea. You know, name a subject, any subject, and I'll try and give some advice on it. That is my primo idea. That we're gonna see why it's so terrible after I've done it. Sure, my goal now is to go all the way over to here. Because this is like a definable area that we can cut off and actually do. Be nice to everyone so they feel guilty for being rude to you. Yeah, there's a phrase for... There is a cultural phrase for this. It's called kill people with kindness. When people are rude to you and you're rude back to them, they use it as like justification of like, well, it was totally fine. You know, bad people deserve bad things. But if you're mean to someone and they're nice back to you, it's like unexpected and you're like, oh. It's kind of like if someone's like, don't brush your teeth with sunscreen. That's the advice I'd like to give. I do think that there's an interesting thing, like if someone was like, you know, doing something bad to you, like they're trying to steal from you, and you go, oh, how are you doing? You know, can I help you with anything? They're like, oh, we can't say the thing we actually need help with, and then they've got to confront that they're doing something bad. Whereas if you go, oi, stop what you're doing, it's like, I'm not doing anything, you know, like, and they feel like they've gotten away with it. Whereas, like, if you feel like you've gone away with it, then you think to yourself, like, you know what, he totally knew what I was doing later. Anyway, it's like a whole interesting thing. Also, yeah, I didn't see Bearded Warrior ask for any advice. Did I miss it? Did I? You know, I'm going to give him advice anyway. I think, about time, right? I've been around long enough, says Bearded Wanderer. What would you like advice about, Mr. Wanderer? Does anyone else use chat popped out, as YouTube calls it? I do, but it's only so I can see it in like the corner of my monitor. Yeah, I think trying to kill people with kindness is actually a good strategy. That is my hot take of the day. Kill them with kindness. Exactly. Or the there's another phrase. There's so many like phrases to describe the same thing. If like you attract more bees with honey. No wait, is it you attract more flies with honey than something else? I think that's the phrase. There's a lot of summoners in the world. Okay. How long does it take for dripstone to grow? It takes forever, as best I can tell. Literally forever. You know, forever might be underplaying it. So he asked for financial advice. Okay, so some financial advice. The single best thing you can do for yourself, right, is financially speaking. The single best thing you can do is have bearded wanderer. Am I saying it incorrectly still? The single best thing you can do for yourself is have more money coming in than goes out, right? That's like budgeting 101. If you've got more money coming in than going out, you're like turning a profit, or on an individual level, you're creating wealth. Your wealth, in my opinion, is your monthly income minus your monthly expenditure. And so the whole thing is like work out how to maximize income or minimize expenditure. And there's so many different ways to do that obviously like you'll know best in your own life. And it's easy to just you catch more flies with honey than vinegar is the phrase you're looking for. Thank you, Brian Smith. You do. I don't know if that's true, but you know, I choose to believe it is. And so like everything is about maximizing those two values. And then once you do have wealth, you know, investments, save it, you know, like once you have that difference, knowing where to put it is the simple thing. And like everyone likes to believe there's one true investment, like buy Bitcoin, buy a house, buy gold, buy whatever it is. But the truth is like it depends entirely on how long you can put it away for. If you can put it away for 5 years plus, buy stocks. It's a safe bet. If you can put it away for a long time and you can stomach losing it all, throw it in like a risky asset, like the Bitcoins of the world. Ethereum is the one I'd recommend personally, but I'm just a crazy person on the internet. Don't take my advice. I have money in Ethereum, and we're going to see how that goes for us. Also, Alpha Hippo, thank you for becoming the 319th channel member. And you know what happens when you become a channel member? You get a spin on the wheel of Toycat. Water drink. I think it says drink water. I haven't been hydrated all stream, and that's a mistake. Hydration is important, everyone. I actually have a real problem. Okay, can I tell you the biggest first world problem? So my house is 3 stories, right? Is that how you'd say that? Yeah, it's like it's 3 floors. I don't know why I say stories. Like, you know, the stories come inside the house. But my house is 3 floors tall. I know, so fun of me. And so there's bathrooms on the 2nd floor, but like the bathrooms are old and like I don't trust them fully. I don't know how old they are. I bet they're only like 10, 15 years old. But like I just don't trust the taps in a new bathroom. I don't know why. Like it takes me a while to trust the taps somewhere. And like I trusted my old taps in my old house, but I don't have my old house anymore. And so I know this is absolute insanity to most people, but it's fine. And so like I have to go like down 2 flights of stairs to get water, and then come back up 2 flights of stairs. And like doing that multiple times a day, it's like big exercise, right? It is big exercise. And so yeah, drinking water is hard for me. Thank you for reminding me, Alpha Hippo. It's a big appreciation. Okay, let's go to sleep and let's get some stone. Getting enough water every day is important for your health. Drinking water can prevent dehydration, a condition that can cause unclear thinking, resulting in mood change, causing your body to overheat. Thank you, Blue, for reminding us of why it's important. Why do we call floors stories? Also, OMG, yes, also trusting the pipe for the water quality. The biggest one to me is I live in London right now, and the water here is incredibly hard. Like, it is... How do I put this? Tap water tastes best in the kitchen, it's a fact. I used to prefer it from the bathroom, because, like, just as a contrarian, my parents used to say, don't drink the bathroom water. And I'd be like, yeah, you think you can tell me what to do? Chug, 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 chug. Because again, I'm dumb. I spend more of my life trying to not do things people tell me than I do trying to follow decent, valid, healthy advice about myself. Yeah, my wee Scottish stomach can I handle English water, says Cat Beanie. That was terrible. I'll never try a Scottish accent again. To be honest, I enjoy drinking the water while showering. You know what, Jacqueline Smith? I would never admit that myself. But if everyone else agrees and doesn't hate you for that, I totally do that too. If people think that weird and there's a reason you shouldn't do that, yeah, so strange, boo, how weird you are. Drinking water in the shower? That's oh wait, I need stone. That's gross. But like, yeah, I totally do that. You know, okay, the really gross one is I used to drink the water in swimming pools. I've drank so many, I can't finish that. You know what, it's gonna be clipped against me if I say I've drank, when I was a child, I drank so many other kids' pee by accident that way. But it's true, right? I mean, it's what swimming pool water is. And I didn't realize at the time. I was like 5, and I'm like, I'm surrounded by water. Why can't I drink it? Even worse than that, right? Is the even worse than that is the fact that it's even worse than that is the fact that it's got chlorine in, right? It's terrible. It's terrible. Anyway, drink out of urinals works for me. Chemical taste the chlorine. Yeah, well, the problem with drinking out of the shower tap... Oh, I'm doing this wrong. The trouble with drinking out of the shower head, I guess not shower tap, is all the lime scale that builds up on it. I feel like lime scale has to be damaging the water, right? I mean, people are saying Lyme disease in chat, not that I know what that is. I mean, you've got to get Lyme disease from lime scale, right? Or they wouldn't call it that. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong here, chat. I filter my water where I grew up. It's got water from a natural spring. Best tap water I've ever had. I'm considering being one of those crazy people who moves to drinking only bottled water. Like, it's one of those, like, health decisions. Like, taking a 0.1% chance, or even 0.01% chance, might not be worth it compared to just drinking a water taste that I apparently prefer in smart water anyway. So we'll just place these here, mine them up, and then we'll mine this whole tower. A ton of that will come out, and then we'll just place some stone here. Look how wonderful this is. I would. Your water is scary. You know, it's funny. I had a plumber around today, and first of all, he said he only drinks beer, like we're living in the 1600s or something. And second of all, he seems really cautious of soft water because something about chalk deposits in there. I think that's just him being like, yeah, London is the best. Even our water is better for you. People say it gives you kidney stones, but wouldn't you rather have... Also, limescale is actually just calcium and other mineral deposits that get stuck to things. I'm anemic, so I love a mineral taste. Fridge has a water dispenser with a filter, though. Without it, I'd be dehydrated for sure. See, shouldn't you be exclusively drinking the hard water? If you're anemic and, you know, I'm just saying. Water filter, water filter, water filter. Yeah, you know what's funny? My tap has a water filter button on there. But the guy was like, yeah, I don't do water filters. And his explanation was like, yeah, it's better for you without a filter. And I was like, I don't know if that's how plumbing should be done. You know, like, is that a good basis to run plumbing on? Of like, yeah, you know, am I crazy here, chat? Am I crazy? I feel like I'm not being crazy. I feel like he actually just couldn't do it for some reason. New plumber, maybe? No, he was a 55-year-old. Like, he was old. He had a London accent, too. He was like, I am from London, eh? I's Glandan. I don't know how to do a London accent in the slightest. Like, you know, London accents, I say it before, but it's hilarious to me. London accents are one of the rarest accents to find in London. Like, no one who lives in London is from London. That is just a thing that doesn't exist. I have a water softener. Yeah, if it wasn't so expensive, I'd totally consider it because, like, water softening the whole house would save me cleaning limescale. But I think it's genuinely cheaper for me to just hire a cleaner to do that. And then deal with the health downsides or whatever. Says the guy living in London. Yeah, but I live in London without a London accent, right? I have a very distinctly not... I'm like literally... My granddad is... He grew up, lived in London, you know, like... He was born and lived in this city. But I still don't have the accent because my grandmother's accent of being an immigrant was much stronger. Like, my granddad genuinely says things like tar and like other weird Londonisms. None of that's rubbed off of me. None of that is on me. Londoners don't exist, confirmed. But yeah, I'm glad people enjoy the wheel, by the way. This is one of my favorite, like, ideas I had for a while. But I'm glad people are loving it as much as I love it. That's a good sign in life. If people love something as much as you love the thing, that's a good sign, I would say. Tar's not a London thing. Is it not? I've only ever heard people with, like, Essex or... Am I wrong about that, chat? Where in the UK do you hear tar? I can't picture that in any accent, but like, oh yeah, tar. Tar's a northern thing, actually. Oh, this is embarrassing. This is all I'm sorry. You know what, chat? I'm resigning my credentials on British accents. Here. See, that's fascinating. I wonder how he picked it up then. Or maybe it's a northern thing and... Because, like, I feel like old Londoners and northerners have a lot in common, you know? Being poor and sad and... I'm not going to make jokes. Nowhere, because I'm Central Scottish. My Aberdonian grandmother says tar. This is so strange. I feel like I'm living in an alternate reality. The funny thing about the wheel is you could probably make it a lot easier with a website or something, says Wizard320. I think there's a certain beauty in it being physically real, though, right? Like, ooh, look at my hand over here. I'm gonna pat myself on the head. Wait. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. You know, isn't that way more fun than a website? Scotland is as north as the UK gets. I think the Highlands and Islands would have to disagree with you. I can't do this. This is terrible. Tar, Thanks, and Ducky are here, especially of the old folks when I lived up north. Fascinating. Fascinating. That was satisfying. You know, Toycat should pat his own head on stream more often. That's the, I say we give the north to Scotland. Yeah, the north of England really... Like, I feel like you could balance the UK better. Because the problem a lot of Scottish people have is like, well, you know, it's meant to be a union of equals, but England takes up like 90% of the population or whatever it is. I enjoyed the head pat. Thank you. And so like the way I would balance it is like, well, Northern England and Southern England aren't the same place. They're both called England for some reason. But otherwise, they don't have much in common. How do we solve it? We make Scotland go all the way down to Birmingham. Problem solved. I feel left out. What is tar? Oh, so tar is a TA. Tar. Yeah, you going good there? Tar. I guess it does sound better in a more inbred accent. It's apparently a northern word for thank you. Like you just gave me a, I don't know, what did you just give me? You gave me a bottle of water, tar. You just saved my grandmother from a house fire, tar. You just handed me a drink from across the bar, tar. There you go. I just heard a note block. I feel like I heard a note block too, right? Oh, I know what it will be. It'll be the paranoia house. Someone would have stepped on one of the noises. Up north, it's very common. Huh, I wonder where that is there. Trying to narrow down, but American here. London alone has multiple accents, but not all dumb. London really only has like... Okay, so London has an actual accent, and then there's like a posh accent that is associated with London. And then there's like the new immigrant accent, because there's a lot of... There is a very interesting subsect of people who move to London as like a prestige thing. Like there's a lot of former British colonies that will send their very, you know, the 1% of those colonies, rather than being in the 1% of their country, they'd rather be in the 10% in the big city here. And so there's like a very wealthy class of people that, you know, it's one of the reasons, like, I don't know, the race divide makes no sense by American standards in the UK, is because actually, on average, like, because of that colonial link and because of the people sending their... But so, the long story short, so you get accents from people who are like in this very interesting London bubble where it's like slightly immigrant but also very well spoken, but also London in particular. I can't even describe it to you correctly. Like there's a weird subsection of like British accents that exist in immigrant populations in London. In North Wales, we say tar. Apparently, it's everywhere. Apparently, that's just a UK thing besides the South, besides London. And apparently, I'm learning today. My accent is a mashup of Cockney and Roadman in my middle-class family. Yeah, oh yeah, and I guess there's also the Roadman part. You know, I guess the problem with London is, like, London has all the accents because people move here from everywhere. Like, how long do you have to live in London before you're a Londoner? And therefore, your accent is a London accent, you know? And then when you consider it's got 8-point-something million people living there, it's like, well, how's any of that gonna work? If you have kids, you say it a lot too. Why would you say it a lot with kids? What's the logic there? Give me the parenting perspective on this one, Cat. I'm very confused. I'm very, very confused here. Can you see how much progress you've made from above? Oh, can we see? No, can you see? You know, how about we all see together? That's a good idea. Yeah, let's get... Oh, it's a short form of give me that. I guess, yeah, it is a very short form way to be like... It's like saying thank you... Yeah, you have to really go far above to look at this, I think. Okay, so here is the above look of what I've done, chat. Okay, I'm gonna have to, like, fly over it in an interesting way. I honestly, because I've been working underneath this so much, it kind of does ruin the effect of how cool it looks. But here's what we've done. We've drained all of this, and all of this. There's a lot more to go, but I'm liking the progress so far. Good looking base. Honestly, this looks so much cooler now without the water, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I think because it's uneven, it looks like I've done something special when I've done absolutely nothing. My nan used to say, Tal, like, can you give me that? Yeah, I think that's actually, that's like the dual meaning of it, right? Like, it's like saying, so someone's gonna become the 320th member before the end of the stream, I hope. Thank you for becoming the 320th member. Thank you. See, I'm thanking you. This is like passive-aggressive, like, not even passive. Yeah, passive-aggressive, I guess. Like, yeah, you're gonna become a member, right? Like, I mean, of course you're gonna become a member. We gotta hit that number before the end of the stream. I'm thanking you in advance, and therefore trying to encourage you to do it. Which I actually don't like. I feel like pre-thanking... This is one of my weird pet peeves that, like, it shouldn't be. It's a very dumb thing to be pet peeved about. But, welcome to the internet. That's the whole world. Starting to look like an extension of the Torch Desert. Yeah, I definitely want to torch it up in a way that's more interesting than the Torch Desert. That is kind of a TBD thing. Oh, no. Okay, it's fine. He's underwater. Should we go to sleep in the bed over here? Let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to sleep in the paranoia house. You have to be very careful coming into this thing. Okay, let's go. So as you can see... Oh, also I need to eat some cake. I always forget about that. There's a button over here. Let's press that again. There we go. So this is my paranoia house. There is no way of being woken up here because the whole thing is crafted from slabs or it's got glass on it. I think it's impossible for mods to spawn here. I could be wrong. Candle it up. Yeah, I think putting some lanterns on the ceiling would be smart. Also, sea lanterns under the Lex Explains. That might be a fun idea. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting ideas. We'll press that, and we'll press that. And now we'll step down. I do want to eat some of this cake, but guess I can't do that. Instead, I'll get to placing some dirt. Or more realistically, some gravel. Or maybe we'll do both at the same time. Toy Cat doesn't feel he has enough wives. Supports polygamous ways. Please go to the link in the description. Exactly. Someone gets it. Someone gets it. Depends on what the social context is. Sometimes I'll use tar as a quick way to say thanks to someone who I know well. Or if it's someone I don't know, I'll say thank you or cheers. Cheers is the one I really enjoy. It feels very, very sociable to say. Like, yep, cheers. I feel fun when I say cheers. You know, I'll just start throwing tars in there every now and then. You know, tar becoming a wife. That's a good use for it. Do you like psychedelics? Says Mr. Muffins 123. Who does like psychedelics? I mean, I guess people who take them. You know, addiction's a powerful tool. I like British musicians who say cheers after every song. There's no way musicians say cheers after a song. Like, cheers for that one. Lad is gonna move on. I don't even know what accent say. My British accent is just horrific. Like, it's terrible because I'm from here, and my British accent is just. I'm gonna do some weird northern inflection that's not gonna make sense to anyone, but I'm gonna enjoy it, darn it, and that's what really matters. So yeah, we're gonna now start placing the sponges, I guess. Not the wet sponges, the dry sponges. Hell yeah, and for sure are my most used affirmative phrases. I'd say my affirmative is usually like, I'm down. Like, do you want to go? Do you want to do this? I'm down. You feeling good? Yeah, I'm down. Nah, I guess it's like I'm up. I get it. You know, there's a lot of interesting. You know, affirmatives have a big range, and it's very interesting how we use different ones in different ranges sometimes. It almost doesn't make sense. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but you know, let's not think about that too hard. So I definitely should be placing these on the side. I should be placing them like there, and there, and there, and maybe also over here. Although I bet we could just place a stone block there, and it'd be fine. The gravel that's here is going to be really confusing to deal with, so I'm just going to prevent this problem now and break it all as we go, and then fix it all. Pray it doesn't cause a problem. You ever feel depressed? Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, that is fun. That is fun. I think that there is a. Also, you know, this is very. You know, I actually kind of like this whole thing. I feel like in Minecraft, sometimes you're just like grinding away at something, and it's like, you know, you're almost doing it for the process more than anything else. Every now and then, you have these like moments of like, this is great. I describe life the same way sometimes. Like, there's a lot of downtime in life. There's a lot of, I'm not sure what I'm feeling right now in life. But when you do hit a grand moment, it's nice. It's very fun. It's very enjoyable. Did I mess another block up? I think I did. And it's kind of cool that way. It's kind of cool that way. So yeah, Toycat, how would you politely tell someone to get out of your house? So, wait, I remember someone told me this story recently. I forget what it was, but oh, I remember. So I have a friend recently who met some new friends. I don't know. I think they're trying to find friends. Maybe I don't know for sure. But so they made a new friend, and the new friend's like, also more Toycat tax as lower 4 lockdown means no more wasting my money on anything else. Also, no baby geese yet. Are you allowed to go look at geese during a New Zealand lockdown? How does that work? But, because, you know, if they take away your geese, that's when you go to riot, right? But, I said poggers in a work meeting, then had to explain what poggers meant. That's very youthful of you, that's very youthful, Pookie. You are incredibly wise below your years, I guess that would be. You're wise below your years. That is definitely a phrase people say. Oh no, these go on there and there, don't they? But yeah, how did your driving test go? It went well. I'm planning the lessons and the practical test now. I think we're gonna take a week off in September and just every day go mad on it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, the extroverted Java fan is back. It's nice to see you. Very funny, enjoyable. Yeah, right. Okay, this is a problem in the brewing right here. Just gotta drain a ton of water, which is slightly made more tricky by how all of this works, but that's fine. You know, this is an opportunity to place some stone underwater. It's a little bit different from our normal task, but it's fine. Are you learning to drive in London, says Jasmine Longman? No, yeah, the whole point is learning to drive in London's very hard. So I'm gonna go do like a 5-day course and like. So okay, you know, actually, if you want to know my current update, I'm gonna be doing a multiple-day course in a city in the UK that's very easy to learn to drive in. I've narrowed it down to 3 cities right now. It's either Bournemouth, York, or Ipswich. Wise below your years is such an underrated insult. I'm gonna use it. I mean, it is a valid way to describe someone who is using knowledge from below their years. You know, like, go to the cheapest city. They're all really expensive. I've got this thing where just like, I know London is marked up by a lot, so I expect everywhere else to be insanely cheap. And I was offended to find out that it actually is still very expensive to learn to drive, even in Bournemouth. What even is a Bournemouth? Have you heard of Bournemouth? No one's heard of Bournemouth. I wasn't insulted, I'm poggers, says Pookie. See, it's funny. You know, I enjoyed it a lot. Go to whichever is closest. I know, like, it's gonna be spending a whole week there, so does it matter if I have to spend 2 hours on a train or 3 hours on a train, right? I think I could be wrong. All 3 of those cities are 2 hours from London by train, though. Like, there might be different expenses involved in getting to them. But London's well connected with the country. Or is the country well connected to London? Da-da-da-da. I've got too many sponges. It is a big problem I have. So let's grab some more dry sponges. And let's go. Hydration reminder. I'm all out of water. So, gonna have to spin the wheel if you want me to drink water, I'm afraid. I'm gonna hold my own health hostage. I'm gonna pawn it off onto the internet. That's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm gonna learn to drive probably like a month from now or so. Probably less than a month if I'm hopeful. I don't know. I want to get like stable with everything else in life that I need to get going, which is a lot of things in life, as it turns out. Bournemouth has the country's biggest air show. I've been once. It was exciting. I think I've heard of that actually. The Bournemouth air show. It sounds correct. I'd love to go to a big air show sometime. See some new planes. Some air deals getting done. Would be fun. Would be fun. Oh, I guess I gotta get rid of some. I gotta place some stone down here, or I won't be able to do anything. Oh, I don't have any stone. Well, I guess I can't do anything then, huh? Toycat's about to turn into a dried out SpongeBob unless someone becomes a member. So true, so true. That is what will happen. It will be on your conscience, chat. Yeah, no, I wonder what happened if I put an F in the team meetings chat. I mean, they should all know that you're paying your respects to them. If they don't know, that's on them. I guess, yeah, it's that thing of, like, certain age means do not understand things. But in all honesty, being anemic, you should probably try not to dehydrate yourself. Just to clarify, Trooper 006, I'm not anemic. I might be anemic. I'm probably not, though. I do bleed a lot, actually. But I also consume iron, just for fun. You know, so... it's probably fine. How long since the creation of this world, says Mystery Ends? The 9-year anniversary is happening in... Ooh, I bet it's happening soon, actually. I thought it would be in, like, October, but it might be September. So it's probably next month. I don't need it. If you don't need something, don't eat something. That's some life advice for Toycat right there. Yeah, it's gonna be satisfying to remove these balls. Get this little stretch done. But before we can do that, we need to... Yeah, honestly, we're in a place where we've got so many simultaneous bits of this project going that we're like causing problems for ourselves. But you know, what is life if not causing problems to yourself? My girlfriend's anemic because she gets tied out of nowhere, yet is an athlete in like 6 sports. You know what? I'm beginning to think she just doesn't like to be around. I'm just kidding. That's mean of me to say. Good for clarification, thanks. So I can do whatever I want, and it's fine because I'm not anemic. That's what I tell the police officers when they stop me, at least. And it works just fine. Life is like an onion. It has layers. That's beautiful. And you know what else is beautiful? The ending of this live stream. I hope you all enjoyed coming along for what indeed turned out to be the 4th part and what will be many more. I wish there was a good angle off this, honestly. Maybe from up here we'll get a good one. Okay, let's see it from up here. I kind of like it from over here. Yeah, look at this. This is the angle right here. The ocean is getting drained. It's happening. And thank you to the 14 of you who became members today. It means a lot that people are making that happen. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful Friday tonight, tomorrow, and you have a good Thursday today. But I hope you had a bad Wednesday yesterday, because you've got to have balance in your life. And if you're going to have bad times, they might as well be in the past. Thank you so much for watching. Saturday will most likely be the 5th part. You better believe we're not stopping at 4 or 5. Maybe 6, though. But what you can say for sure is I'm enjoying this stream series. If you want to hang out and talk and vibe some more, 2 days from now on Saturday. It'll probably be late on Saturday. It might be short on Saturday. But it will probably be on Saturday. See you next time. I'm going to go drink some water. Bye.